Bam, we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Elizabeth Wishart coming on today in a couple minutes. I see Andy's in the chat. Good morning, y'all. Andy, what's up, dude? Marissa Hinahosa. Kenneth DeLapp. Good to see you guys. Andy, you're on your ride today? You started your ride? Is today the first day? We have a guest coming on for the first bit here. But if you're on your bike like in 90 minutes and we could talk to you, I'd love to talk to you. That'd be awesome. Oh, or are you training today? When you say you're on your bike, you're on the C2 this morning? What are you doing? Aaron, what's up, dude? Mike McCaskey, hey. We are a minute early. Better than being like 5 or 10 minutes late. God, I've been just lagging. I haven't been getting up late, but I've just been dilly-dallying around the house. I'm like off my normal routine and schedule. Ever since I came back from Newport, I've been fooling around more in the morning, not staying on top of my game. I got to get Ari in here at some point today, too. He comes and looks in the window every day. Can I come on the show? Can I come on the show? Plenty of caffeine. Got plenty of caffeine, plenty of Paper Street coffee. I see Kenneth used the joke didn't go over so good yesterday. They were on the Glinton podcast, and she had a guy, I think it was called like the MC Life. I guess that guy's an MC for events, CrossFit events. He's the guy who stands on the floor and does play-by-play for the people in the audience. But I made a joke. I'll come on and talk about the Mac life, but I don't think it landed. I had a friend in my 20s who used to call me Sevy Mac. He was my buddy who was addicted to meth. He got off. I don't know if he got back on, but he got off. Lived in his blue Camaro on my driveway. Is that a stain on my shirt? Jeez, look at that thing. What is that? Like oil or grease on my CEO shirt? Oh, maybe. Oh, no. It's just water. Let's watch that throughout the show. Hopefully that goes away. It feels wet. Must have been from when I put my shirt on after I got out of the shower. Lactating. Jizz stain. Solid guess. You had a friend too. I had a friend too. The meth head friend. He was a cool dude. I wonder what happened to him. He was like 10 years older than me. He lived in my driveway in his Camaro in college. Are Andrew Hiller and Brian Friend doing reps ahead? They say they are. I don't think they're going to make it. It's not till like October or November, I think. My prediction is they will have a falling out before reps ahead happens. That's my guess. Yeah, a lot can happen in 6 weeks. Yeah, totally. We got a show tonight, a Crash Crucible show. It's late. Bill Grunler's a working man, father, so he can only do it at 7 p.m. So we're all rallying 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It'll be a late one. Julia, what's up, girl? Hi, Judy. So we'll be going late tonight. I think it'll be myself, John, Tyler, Bill Grunler. John and Bill will be the ones doing the broadcasting for Crash Crucible this weekend. It's gonna be quite a stacked group of people. And then of course we have Wishart on this morning. I think. Oh, there she is. And she won the NorCal Classic. Here she is. Hey. Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
1 second. All right, cool.
Are you in California?
Hi. I am not in California, no.
Oh, are you California native?
I am not, no.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were, just from like perusing your Instagram. Where's home for you?
Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not 7 a.m. for you. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. It's 10 a.m. for me. It's not bad at all.
Hey, this is just the phone. This is just the audio from your computer?
This is the audio from my phone.
Oh, God, it sounds good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it
That's great.
sounds great. I think I've learned over the years that the audio from people's phone and computer is better than their, AirPods most of the time.
I thought about putting on AirPods because usually I can't hear very well if I don't have them on, but it sounds really clear, so I'll just leave them for now.
Okay, perfect, and you can always say, "What? What'd you say? What'd you say? Hey, congrats on winning NorCal Classic."
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is that your biggest win?
That is my biggest win by far. Yeah. I was really excited about it. So, yeah.
When you showed up there, did you have intentions of winning?
Yes. Yeah. I planned, that was my goal going into it. Last year I went and I got third, and it was kind of because of a mistake that I made. Not really a mistake, something I was really bad at. They had a kayak event and I did really, really poorly. And, I was bitter. And so I came back and that was my plan this year. So I was really excited about it.
Yeah, what's your overall impression of the competition?
For NorCal Classic, I would say it's more of a local feeling competition with high level competitors, because everybody's still camping outside just like we used to do when you know local competitions were more prevalent. I guess everyone's camping outside. All the events are outside, so everything's like a little bit less controlled and a little bit less structured. Not structured, but if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yep,
And
yep.
so yeah, that's how I would describe it. I do think it's all the events are a lot different. Like they're not so CrossFit-y per se. All of them are, you're going to see different elements. You're going to see different things that you haven't seen implemented before. And I love that there's usually like some sort of outdoor swim, run, something or other. Last year there was a kayak. So yeah, that's how I would describe it. It's like a local feel, but high level, which is awesome.
Do you go by Elizabeth or Liz?
I go by Liz, actually.
Liz. And then it's Wishart, not Wishart, Wishart.
You know what? You can say it either way, but it's like pretend that there's two H's in there. It's Wishart.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yep.
will. Fine. All right, good. All right. I was like trying to show discipline last night when because I kept wanting to spell it Wishart, and then I'm like, Debbie, it's Wishart, because I was cruising around on YouTube looking for videos of you. It's Wishart.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
I've never done a podcast before. No.
Yeah, that's a trip. Usually, for sure, there's these guys in the space, Clydesdale Media, Scott Schweitzer. He's like gotten everyone, and I thought for sure you would have done his podcast. And I'm like, wait, I don't think this girl's ever done a podcast.
No, this is my first time. This is it.
Last year I popped into the NorCal Classic for just like an hour. I just walked around and I thought, wow, has a really good feeling. And then this week I was there for 3 days, 4 days, and I was there primarily following Colton, Tudor Magda, and Taylor Self, and it felt just like the CrossFit Games in 2008 and 2009. I was like, wow, this is really cool. I'm actually, I mean, although there were a lot of people there, I was actually surprised there weren't more spectators there, because it is like the
Yeah.
ultimate spectator event. You can
Yeah,
get
and
close to
it's
all the athletes. You can see everything.
I agree. And it's the different part about it is, like I said, there's a bunch of different events. So it's not like you're just sitting in a stadium like watching something all in that arena, in the very controlled arena. Like everything's different. Everything's all the events move around, you know what I mean? So yeah, I totally agree.
And now you're going to Crash.
Yes, yeah, that's my first time at Crash too. I've never been before, but I've heard so many good things about it. That it's similar in that it's like a local feel, but a lot of really good people. I mean, lots of really good girls are going to be there.
What are you this is a really broad question. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like what is Liz doing with her CrossFit career? These are two big comps. Do you have or do you have any ambition, or are you just like, obviously your job, which we'll get to, requires you to be in just phenomenal shape for your own safety and everyone's safety around you, but um these are two like really big comps. They're close together. What do you have are you on a mission?
Uh, I, I would say so. Yeah. I would actually describe it as I took a little bit of time off from doing CrossFit for a while. I did it competitively, and I say kind of quote unquote competitively because I did it, and I did some higher level competitions, and this was like right when regionals was dying, and then it transferred to sanctionals. Um, and I always would place like 20th. Like every time I went to a competition, I would place 20th, and or something like that. You know what I mean? And so I just didn't really. I was like, okay, well, I'm good enough to make it to these big comps, and then just like not good enough to be like at the top. So, and then I kind of went into my career, and I did that for a little bit, and I actually had a really bad knee injury, and then as I was coming back from it, I was like, man, I'm actually kind of not too bad at this stuff, you know, like maybe I could just keep going and get really good. And then the next year I started getting a lot better and a lot better, and I was like, I want to make it to the games. I don't want to waste, you know, not waste,
Mm.
but spend, you know, 8 years. I've been at this training pretty hard for like 8, 9 years now. Like I don't want to put all that away and never even make it to the farthest stage. So that's my goal. And I think doing these off-season competitions, especially, and just experiencing competition as much as I possibly can, is what's going to get me there.
So would that get your start in CrossFit at 2016?
I would say 2015 was my first open, so 2015.
And then how long had you been doing CrossFit before your first open?
Maybe 2 months, maybe a month.
Wow.
Not very long. It was really short. So,
Christy, hi. Christy Minato, new member. Awesome. Good to have you. Nice dog. Sleeping dog. And your vocation is, are you a firefighter?
I am a firefighter. Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that?
I started that in 2020 is when I went through the academy.
And
Yeah.
that's let me see. I saw a picture, I think, of you getting and this is your graduation ceremony?
That is my graduation ceremony. Yep.
Crazy. Well, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you for the congratulations. But I love it. So I love
And
it.
I'm looking at this picture and I don't see what's the difference between the dudes in the blue and the dudes in the red?
So all the guys in the blue are instructors, and all of us in the red are recruits. So that's when we were in recruit school. They put you in a really bright T-shirt. Um, but yes, we're in the red. So all the recruits, all the people who were in my academy class are in the red T-shirts.
And what state is that?
This is in Indiana. We have a really big facility in Indiana. We're really lucky. It's called FDTN, and they do a bunch of like really aggressive like fire training there. And our class got to do a bunch of time there, which was awesome because I didn't have any prior experience. So it was a really fun time, and I think that was our last day there. So.
And Liz, why did you choose to become a firefighter? What was the inspiration for that?
You know, I never really thought about it until I graduated college, and I kind of didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to work in the medical field, and then I volunteered a little bit in a hospital, and I decided I really didn't want to work in the medical field. And then I met someone. I actually met a woman who at the Granite Games, and I can't remember her name. I want to say her first name was Chelsea, but anyway, she was pretty good. She was on a team.
Has she been around forever?
She's been around forever. She knew Ron Ortiz. Man, what was her name? Her last Grigsby.
Yeah, yeah, she's something else. She's been around forever. I remember her at the Del Mar Regional, I don't know, in 2012 or something. Yeah, she's been around
she's
forever. Yeah.
a really long time. But anyway, I got to talking to her, and I don't remember why. I never met her before. I kind of was like, I thought it was really cool because she was really good. And at that time, I was like, you know, like I said, I was always in the middle. I was towards the bottom. And she talked to me about her job and how much she loved it and how much it just really flowed with her training, and how just it was awesome. And I started looking into it, and I applied, and I got on, and I loved it. So I got lucky that I liked it. But yeah, that's really why.
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have two. I have an older brother and a younger sister.
And how much older is your brother?
He is 1.5 years older than me.
Okay, so close. So you spent time with him. He was a peer.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you know boys.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause, I'm looking at this picture, and you're the only lady in the class.
There's one other. I think she's next to me somewhere in the picture. But there is one other woman. There were only two of us. So, um, yeah, it was tough. It was hard. I really liked it though. I like a challenge. It was fun.
God, I don't see her.
She's in there. I know she is. Gotta look for her though.
Oh, is that her in the back right? Is she wearing sunglasses?
Yes, she's wearing sunglasses.
Um, and, so is that scary? What do? You go online and you're like, and you fill out a form and boom, you're in some sort of fire academy? What's the first step to becoming a firefighter?
Actually, it's really difficult to get on because so many people apply and the process is really competitive. And the way that they do it is very, I guess, specific is the word that I would use. You go through multiple different things. So you first take like a written test, and then you go into like an oral exam, and they'll ask you questions, and you have to answer. And you have like a certain time limit to answer. And then you usually have some sort of like physical test, and it's pass fail. And then I think there's one more step towards the end where they do like a psych evaluation, and then you get on. But through all those steps, it's really competitive. So I
So the
felt really
application
lucky.
process is written, oral, physical, and are you batshit crazy?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
God, and that's just the application.
That's just, yeah, that's application. And then you they basically usually they make a list based off of that. And if you're at the top of their list and they're hiring a certain amount of people, then you get on. And if a year down the road they decide to hire a few more people and they still have the same list, then they'll hire you off the same list. So you could go like a year or two and after applying and still be waiting to get a job, and then all of a sudden get a call and they're like, hey, you want to come work for our department?
So when you apply, then even if I'm hearing you right, the nuance there is once you apply, if they accept you into the academy, that kinda means you also got the job. They're not gonna invest in you to go into the academy.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there's so the academy is attached. Well, at least for me, our academy is it's attached to the hiring process. So like as soon as you're hired, that's when you get into the academy. It's like you're hired and you're into the academy versus the other way around.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in California, but the boys I have 3 little boys, and the boys' skateboarding coach, he went to the fire academy in San Jose, graduated very top of his class, and then when he got out, he didn't have a job. He had to go to a volunteer fire department, like, 60 miles away just to start building his resume.
Ah, so that might be totally different. So the way that they did it with us was the academy was like all of the people in my class in the academy are at my department now, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
wow,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
wow,
Like
yeah.
everybody, they put on our academy versus what you're talking about is he went to the academy, graduated top of his class, which was awesome, I'm sure, and then he used that to get on at departments. But the way that they do it here is you have to be in an academy through your department.
Okay.
So
Hey,
he
does
would have
any
to.
sorry, say that again?
So if it was so it sounds like he put himself through an academy that was separate of a department, so he'd probably have to do another one when he got on. Or I don't know how it would work. In California, it's probably different.
Did anyone in your class not make it?
Yes. Yeah,
So that is also
a
part
few.
of the application process. That's like the academy kind of is the final run
Oh
of
yeah.
the application process.
Yeah. There are two people, three people who didn't make it. And just exactly that's like the final little part. And then you're on a probation for a year too. So after that you still aren't like free and clear, you know what I mean?
How long is this portion right here where you're just do you see these guys? Is this every single day for 6 months that you're with these dudes?
Yeah. Yeah. So we started I think in March and we finished in September. So yeah, 6 months. Yeah,
Wow.
you're there every day, like a regular 40-hour work week.
Look, it looks like we have a little PSA. Reed Dove. The other day I was showing people my Amazon subscriptions and I showed that I use drops. They're these pods that my wife uses because she doesn't want me using Tide Pods. Sevon, stop using Drops laundry pods. The coating and the PVA plastic. Try Blue Land laundry products instead if you want to ease of a pod-like tablet. Sorry for the off-topic comment. Joke. All right. I'll tell my wife. All right. I'll get back to you on that.
Do Tide Pods have PVA plastic?
I don't even know what PVA is.
What is bad about Tide Pods? I'm sure they're terrible. So
I think that there's something in there that is bad for your hormones. Like they somehow there's there's all these chemicals now that are getting tons of attention that are bad for your hormones. And I have 3 little boys, and so I'm sure it has to do with that. I always justify it that I use a triple rinse. Like I'll do the wash and then I'll hit that rinse button like 3 times. But my wife's made a lot of good choices for the family.
Yeah.
So I just like, she does all the research and shit, and I just kind of like, all right, yes, ma'am. Okay, cool. I'll worry about like watering the fruit. I'll worry about the fruit trees in the backyard. You worry about the chemicals that our boys are getting. And what was it like? Was there any? I don't want to ask the question in the. What did you do before? What was your job before?
So before I while I was in college, I bartended.
Mhm.
And then after I got out of college, I looked at a bunch of jobs. I graduated with a degree in exercise science and nutrition, and I minored in health promotion. And I couldn't find anything that paid me more than like $9 an hour for a bachelor's degree, and I wasn't really interested in right then going to get a master's degree because I wanted to be out of school for a little bit. And so I just kept bartending, and then eventually I felt like that was a dead end, so I started trying to work in fitness. And so right before I got hired, I was working full time as like I worked at 2 different CrossFit gyms. I worked at like a ninja style training gym, and I worked at an F45.
Wow.
And I was not a fan. It was terrible. It was really hard. Not hard, but time consuming.
Did you have all 4 of those jobs simultaneously?
Yeah, I was coaching at all 4 gyms because I wanted to get as close as I could to like a regular work schedule, if that makes sense, because I would just coach like majority of classes here, majority of classes here, majority of classes here, but it turns into like you're basically just working anytime someone isn't at work.
Yeah.
And most of the time I would work on Sundays and stuff like that too. So not a fan.
My wife kind of had a job like that. She was a yoga instructor, and basically, she had a job at like at San Quentin, and then she had another job at a juvenile facility, and then she had it like at a high-end yoga center. And basically, I felt bad for her because I felt like her job was mostly driving.
Yeah, you're just driving around to different places, and you're really not making that much, at each place, but you're tying it all together to try to make it work, and it wasn't ideal for long term, but I got lucky and I got hired. So,
and when a bartending job is dealing with a lot of men too.
Yeah. I mean, I would say a mixture. I worked at a restaurant for the majority of it, so it was definitely more of a mixture. But yeah, that too.
Were you good at your job as a bartender?
Yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I liked talking to people. And that was another reason that I didn't like coaching as much as I thought that I would. I liked hustling too. Like I liked managing like 15 things at one time, and then like just coming in and talking to a bunch of people at one time and having to do a lot of things and think through it, and your brain's just off and you're just trying to do like a million things at once. I liked it, and then all of a sudden it was over every night. So I liked that part of it.
I have this friend who's works at a restaurant, and they were telling me that they can spot a client who's a good tipper and not a good tipper, and that if they spot they profile the people.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah.
But
From a mile away.
Oh, you really can. But do you still?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say a mile away, but like you could. I feel that most of the time, once you get used to like working in that environment, like you have a feel for it, right?
Yeah.
Just like anything.
Do you still be nice? Like I was a checker for 2 years, and my favorite part about the job was just being nice to people. Like, I just
Mhm.
really enjoyed, like, it was a win if someone came and they were an asshole to you and you could crack them because you had, like, 2 minutes,
Yeah.
right? It was before and I had to punch in all the numbers. It was back in the day. I was, like, 16, and so it was before they had scanners, so I had to punch in every price of everything on the little keypad. Would you be nice to everyone, or if you profiled someone as a shitty tipper, would you just write them off?
Oh, no, I loved being nice to everyone because something that was, like, a really fun challenge is if you really did I mean, I would say you profile like, you could tell when people were good tippers versus just, like, normal, you know what I mean? But, I liked the challenge, it was fun, like, sometimes you would think that maybe someone wouldn't tip you as much, and then you really do your best, and they completely change your mind, you know what I mean? So that happened too, like, more often than you think it would. So, I love that part of it, that's a good point.
And would there be is there a direct correlation between how much people drink and how much people tip?
Absolutely, most of the
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
yeah. 1
because
drink, you're
and
at
that's why
15%,
what was
3
that?
drinks, you're at 1 drink, you're at 15%. Every drink after that, the tip's going up 2%.
It helps. I would say it helps. People are more relaxed, and people like if something takes a little longer than it should because the kitchen is backed up or whatever, like people don't notice. So you're just more relaxed in general. I would say.
Yeah, I think it would be so, um, easy to do that job, but I'm just blown away at how many people fuck it up. Like, people just wanna be acknowledged, right? Like, every time you walk by their table, your food's coming. Like, "How are you?" "Hi."
You just have
Just
to be nice to people.
yeah, just
Most of the
just
time, if you
even
fuck it up, if you're nice to them, then I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the word f.
that's okay, you
Uh,
can still fuck it up, it's fine.
Okay, that's most of the time if you mess it up really bad and you're really nice to them, like it's okay. You know what I mean? If you're just like nice and you are communicating with them the whole time, it's not a big deal. If you're, you know, not nice to them, then probably the odds of it happening are low. It's that simple.
Yeah, totally. Like, n yeah, if you're exactly. No one minds waiting at a restaurant for 20 minutes if every 5 minutes the hostess is like, "Hey, I see
Mhm.
you. Just so you know, I
Yeah,
see
you're
you.
talking to them and you're like, I'm
Can I
not,
get your
you
kid
know,
some crayons or anything?"
yeah, yeah, just paying attention to what they need or what you can do for them at that time. You know what I mean? So.
I used to go to breakfast places a lot. I don't do that anymore, but I used to go, like, every single morning almost with work, and, I noticed that if they gave me coffee right away, I was cool. I was
If they just
perfectly fine.
acknowledge that you're in there,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
at least
Yep.
say hi, like, even if they just yeah.
Sevi would even be nice to churchy, cunts that aren't tipping. I would be nice to everyone. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care. I mean, I would care. I would be excited when I got tips. It was just I used to park cars too, and that was the whole thing. Just be super nice to just go the extra mile. I mean, that's why you're there.
Yeah, and you wanna make sure that they know that you're providing them a service too, like, if you're just, like, acting like it's no big deal that you're there, or not no big deal, but, you're just kind of being very nonchalant and not really talking to them, then are you really providing them the same service? You
Yeah.
know?
And all my problems would go away because 'cause I'm servicing someone else.
Yeah.
So you go to this academy, and I'm assuming that it's, when I think of an academy, how much of it is, sitting that classroom and how much is physical? Because obviously the picture just makes it look like it's, like, predominantly physical.
So they break it into multiple parts. So not only are you going for like the physical part, right? But you also have to sit in a lecture a lot of the time, some of the time, I would say. And we also did our EMT course at the same time too. So like we had to go in for classes for that every day. And for the first like I think 6 or so weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, we were in an EMT class.
And then after that, it gets more physical?
After that is when it gets more physical and we're outside like I would say every day and then towards the last 2 months or so, I think it was 2 months. We're outside like every day. Like that picture was at the training camp we went to and or the training facility we went to and we were there for 20 days I think. So but that's Monday through Friday so it was like split into however many 4 weeks. So the last month.
Are
And
you
every
still
day we're outside and burning for like the whole day. We get there
what's
at
that?
7, we leave around 4.
Did you say burning?
like you're doing like fire type scenarios the whole day, yeah, and learning too. Like you're learning a bunch of stuff, but everything is like real, and you can like they have real fire the whole time, and that's why that facility is so cool, because you're like legitimately doing your job over and over again, just like you would in an office job if you were learning how to do whatever you do on the computer, you know. You're just doing repetitions over and over again.
Did you during the academy, did you ever hit any walls where you're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it?
There was one time, and there was something that was really really difficult for me to do because I weigh 140 pounds, and
Hmm.
I'm the I was the smallest person there, and we were moving like a really heavy hose, and it was really hard for me, and I remember going home and thinking like I was frustrated, but the next day I came in and I was excited to be there, so I wasn't gonna quit.
The boy skate instructor is not a big guy either. I'd say at most he weighs 160, and he's in phenomenal shape. Not as good a shape as you're in, but I mean, he looks like a piece of steel, and he's a former professional athlete. He moves incredible. But he said that too. I'm trying to think what I think there were two things that he said were just insane that he had to do. Carrying maybe a dummy down a ladder,
Oof.
and then maybe like dragging a dummy. And he said it was crazy because he said there would be big men there, like 250-pound men, young men. And this guy's older. He was like, for the academy, I want to say he was like 37. He said there were young, just giant guys there who just moved it like it was nothing.
Absolutely. And I mean it's like a give and take. I mean, almost like just the same way it is in CrossFit, where it's like, well, the big guys are going to be able to move the really heavy dummies or the really heavy people, you know what I mean? Because most of the time you come across someone that's going to be a heavy person. They're going to be able to move the heavy people like really well, right? And they're going to be able to swing an axe or like carry really heavy stuff really well, way better than I can. But I also can go a lot longer. I can fit in a lot smaller spaces. I can last on air for a lot longer. So it's just like a give and
Mm.
take. It's like everybody does a really good job of fitting together. So that's where the whole team aspect comes in as part of the job, because you all get the job done together. You know what I mean? So it just
Um,
depends.
when you show up there, I have to assume just based on just the genetic makeup of who we are as creatures, you being a woman and then these guys being men, there's a presupposition that you're going to be the weak link in the class. Obviously, we know that that's not necessarily true amongst CrossFitters at all. Do you feel any of that from the instructors or your cohort?
No, I really wouldn't say that. I don't think that I do think that and I mean this is just as humans, like because I am like I was a minority, if you will, in the class, like there's going to be more of a stereotype towards me versus everybody else, because like we're human, right? And I'm smaller and I'm not like a big person.
How
So I
tall are
do
you?
what's that?
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8", so I'm
Five.
actually not like I'm not short. I'm actually for CrossFit I'm quite tall. Everybody thinks that I'm really tall, which is
Yeah,
funny because
yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm not 6 feet tall, but comparatively to a lot of the girls in CrossFit, I am significantly taller and smaller. But we're working on it. So uh, but yeah, I mean, I think that there's like some general stereotypes that they have, but no, I was really lucky to have a class and instructors who treated me just the same, absolutely the same as everybody else, which I really appreciated. And you're going to come across that in the job anyway, but specifically in the academy and with the instructors, I was really lucky.
And in having you there and just, how physically capable you are, they must have been, your peers must have been shocked and your instructor shocked, I'm guessing, because there's some things that it's like, "What the fuck?" Because I'm sure there were some things you finished top of your class, and they're impressed by anyone who finishes the top of their class, but let alone a woman.
I think that there were some times, especially at the beginning when we did like the physical testing, I did really well on the uh, we did, strict pull up, very, very basic testing, very basic physical testing. We did strict pull ups. we did like a push-up test, and we did a running test, and I did really well. I think I finished first in both the push-ups and the pull-ups, um, and not too bad in the running either. So that went really well. Yeah. And I didn't look like, I suppose, I guess that you should phrase it, it wasn't expected that way.
Right.
So yeah, and I didn't do too bad, dragging really heavy people. Not as good as the biggest people, but I definitely wasn't bad at it. So there were some things I struggled with though.
And now, are you at a, I don't know what it's called. Are you at a firehouse? Do you have a place that's like your home, like place you go and you have a bed there and that's your truck and those are your teammates and you go to work every day and that's your job?
I do, yeah. I have a bid spot. I've had a bid spot for about 3 years. We got really lucky because when we came on, there were a lot of open spots, so we ended up being able to bid pretty early. But I'm at a house that I really like, and yeah, I have my own spot, and it's really nice. And I have a crew.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've been there 3 years. How quickly do firefighters get promoted?
I think our rule, I think it's 5 years you can promote to lieutenant. And yeah, 5 years to lieutenant, and then a couple years after that, you can promote to captain. So after about 5 years, you can start getting to that point where you can be promoted to.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Did you see what the screen said? It said battery exhausted. Hold on, let me see what the
Correct.
fuck is going on here. Okay, hold on. This isn't good. Okay, we'll use an ass camera today.
There you go.
Yeah, I apologize.
That's okay.
Wow, I look red.
You look different. Yeah, the color's different for sure.
Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
Yeah, all right. I've been fake baking.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, do you think you made the right choice? Are you happy with the choice you made?
For firefighter?
Yeah, firefighter, not going into the a hospital and being a firefighter.
I'm very happy with the choice I made. My schedule is amazing, and it lets me do CrossFit, which I really love. And it lets me have a lot of free time to travel and do whatever I want to do. It's amazing. It's a really fun
Yeah,
job.
I see you travel a lot with is that your boyfriend or your husband?
Boyfriend. Yeah.
I see you travel a lot with him. That's really cool.
Yeah, we love it. And we have a little van we travel with, and it's really fun.
Yeah, I saw that too. You're living the dream.
You know.
Hey, this is actually my favorite picture. It's funny. Do you watch the UFC?
I have, yeah.
Well, there was a guy fighting this weekend, Poatan, and he was wearing a tracksuit. And I was like, "Oh god, I gotta get track." It's so hard finding tracksuits for kids, like cool ones.
You should look for one because it's worth it. It was so fun. He was so excited when I got him for him.
Oh my god, that is so awesome. I dress my sons all exactly the same.
You
And,
do?
yeah, all of them the same. I mean, slightly different colors,
Yeah,
but
right.
put them in Argyle sweaters and these
Mhm.
little tiny wife beaters underneath, and I dress them like that every morning. They have to leave the house like that. And, god, I saw this tracksuit. You know, the only time I've ever seen tracksuits is when I was in, Harlem. And I was in Harlem, this is maybe 20 years ago, and I went into a store and all they sold were tracksuits. I'm like, "We don't have anything like this in California."
Excellent.
What did you order this on Amazon?
No, actually, these are Nike. I got these on Nike.com, and I had to scavenge to find this color because this is the color I really wanted. And it was totally worth it. He was so psyched. And now I have two different colors of this same tracksuit because I like it so much. But yeah, it's great. We wear it, and then now we can wear it in public, and everyone will know that we're matching.
Yeah, that's awesome. There were a couple couples in high school that did that too. The boyfriend and girlfriend always wore the same tracksuits.
Matching, yeah,
Yeah.
matching tracksuits. It's coming back. It's just
Yeah.
like, and it's like the '90s photo shoots your mom made you do.
Hey, is he a firefighter?
He is a firefighter too. Yeah,
Did you guys meet at
that's
through
how we met.
firefighting?
Yep, he was in
Wow.
the same academy class as me.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, that's gotta be a crazy courtship process.
Yeah.
When there's 20 other dudes around, you gotta be careful, right? Because,
Yeah.
um I mean, obviously, you're like top of the food chain woman. You're smart, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're driven, and so it's like it's not like you're going to be unaccustomed to being a good catch. You know what I mean? You have your shit together. Um, that must have been crazy. How did he do that? How does he court you with all? Did you court him or did he court you?
I would say it was a mixture.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
That
uh he's amazing though. So
did he play hard to get?
he he didn't play hard to get, but he is also top of the food chain. So it wasn't a hard decision.
Yeah, I know, but there's so many choices. There's
Yeah.
I mean, it's your druthers, right? It's like, okay, there's 30 dudes here and me. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's kinda crazy. I would think that that would be just the craziest place. Like,
I
if I
suppose.
was there, I would completely ignore the girl because I would be overcompensating for not wanting to cramp her style. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Even if I wanted to, I would be fucking completely freaked out that I was gonna, like, send the wrong signal.
Yeah, it was an experience to say the least to be with that to be the minority in that situation, but yeah.
And did you know right away? Did you know, like, the first week you saw him and you're like, "Yep, that's the dude."
I liked him a lot. I did.
Yeah. Just everything about him, the way he interacted with other people, the way he carried himself, the way he
Yep,
looked, you're like, "Fuck."
absolutely, yeah.
And imagine that, even being able to stand out, um, in that group with all those other guys.
He he is top of the food chain for sure.
That's awesome. And he graduated too?
Yeah, he did. He actually was at a different department for a long time too, so he had a lot of experience before we even got there. He transferred from a different department and he was there for 10 plus years, so he knew what he was doing when we were in the academy.
So if you're a firefighter somewhere else and then you come to your department, you gotta go through that again?
Yeah, most of the time. It just depends. So sometimes you can come in and do like a lateral transfer where you just move over and they don't make you do an academy or they make you do a shorter one. But in our case, they made us all go through the academy regardless of prior experience.
And is he a CrossFitter?
No, actually, he was a wrestler. He wrestled for Purdue, and
Okay.
then he
So he is top
fought.
of the food chain. So he really is top of the food chain.
Yeah, and then yeah, he really is. And then he did fought UFC for a few years too.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, he's he's awesome.
Wow, congratulations. Great catch.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
So so it's kind of it is so it's 2, uh, very driven, not afraid of discomfort, people. You found your match.
Absolutely. Very, very passionate people for sure. Intense people.
Where were you born? What state were you born?
I was born in Indianapolis.
Is he an Indiana guy too?
He is not. He is from East Chicago. So he is from like almost. I think East Chicago is still continued. It's Indiana, but it's like right on the line, or it's right, but it's not quite Illinois.
And if he if and obviously he wrestled and he was in the UFC, uh he's not unfamiliar with high intensity training.
No, no. He actually he'll jump in. He's jumped in and done CrossFit too. He said he always says he dabbles. He did CrossFit for a short time. He's done a lot of different things because he said now he's spent, a lot of time, a lot of his life in a gym, and now he just enjoys working out, so he just kind of does whatever. But yeah, he's no stranger to any sort of anything, especially with wrestling. They have to be the jack of all trades with everything. So
Hey, why did he switch um departments? Why did he switch from where he was for 10 years to another fire area?
The one that he was at before was a little bit smaller. It was more like a suburb of Indianapolis, and then now we work in like Indianapolis. Like we actually work in the city. We're technically a township, but it's like inner city Indianapolis, so it was just busier. It pays more, better benefits, more
Um,
more fire too, so you get more action. You know.
do you guys try to stay on the same schedule?
Always, yeah. We're on the same shift and we have the same day off. They call it a Kelly day. So like every time I would be scheduled to work Thursday, I'm off. So you'll have like 5 days off in a row. And so we have the same day that we have that too. So our schedule is always the same.
And you're at the same house, firehouse?
No, we're not at the same
No.
firehouse.
Okay.
He works like a mile down the road. So we go on runs together every once in a while and
Oh, so
it's
you'll
fun.
show up there and he'll be there
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
oh, that's
Vice versa.
awesome,
Yep.
dude.
Yeah. And he works on a ladder truck and I work on an engine. So still a little bit different, but
That's like, when your best friend's in the other class in the 2nd grade, and then you get to go to a movie day, and they bring 2
same
classes
thing.
together, and you're like,
It's
"Fucking
basically the
A." Yeah, and you run
same.
over and hug your best friend. That is so
Like,
awesome.
"Hey."
Oh my god, you're having so much fun. How cool. And, and you don't have kids?
I do not, no.
So you guys, when you're off, you guys can jump in the van and go?
Most of the time, yeah, he has kids, so, our schedules can be and, they can get conflicted, and also now I just train so much, so most of the time we have to, like, schedule time off, um but yeah, it is a lot easier, especially with our schedule, and his kids are old enough that they're in school, so it's pretty open.
The prize at NorCal Classic was big, right?
It was really big, especially for, like, a local not local, but, something that was more low key, let me say it like that.
Was it 25,000?
It was 25,000, yeah.
Yeah, were you tripping? Like, when you're, like, you're going to the airport and you're like, "What the fuck? I got 25 grand."
I really not planned, that's not the right way to say it. My intention was to win, and I think that that's important because, when you go to something, I feel like that's what I've struggled with the most early on in my CrossFit career is that, my intention was never to win. My intention was to just go and compete, right? But this time, like around, I want my intention to always be like, no, I want to win. I don't want to get second. I don't want to get third. I don't want to, like, I don't want to just be there for fun. I want to go and have a plan, right? Um, and it wasn't really real until, yeah, I got to the airport and I was like, what now? So that was really awesome.
And, so how close was it? Were you losing going into the final? Were you in 2nd place going into the final event?
I was in second place going to the final event, and I think I was still quite a ways, not quite a ways, but I was like, I want to say over like maybe 10 points at least behind Trista. And after so the first day,
What is that? Is that 3 people? If you're 10 points behind, you need 2 or 3 people to get between you and
I
her?
think I think that was what it was. I think I
Okay.
needed two people to get in between me and her, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I knew that the last event was going to be really good for me. So I was excited and I was just ready to be focused and just do everything that I could because I even if I do the best and I won the event and then not enough people were between us, then it wouldn't have mattered. So yeah.
And you say it would be good for you, but you have to assume also it would be good for her. She looks like she can do thrusters, and we know she's great with her gymnastics. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
right? I mean, she looks very powerful.
Mhm.
Um, and then you get out there on the floor, and it was crazy hot, right?
It was really hot. Like, I mean, it was so hot that it burned. Like, I had blisters for that next week. It was hard for me to train because I had blisters all the way across my hands, not from like doing gymnastics or anything, but from like the heat of the bar actually burning my hand.
I wanna say it was over 100 degrees I mean, it was over 100 degrees that day. I'm guessing on the floor with the heat radiating up from the bottom. I bet you the floor was over 130. Um, and then you guys go out there. What do you do when you know it's gonna be that hot and it's gonna be just a brutal workout? Do you drink, like, a pint of water or, like, what do you do do you do something to get ready for that?
So actually, because I live in Indianapolis and the humidity is so high, our AC had been broken at our gym for maybe like I don't know. It's been broken a long time, but we had just had a heat wave go through and it was like 95 in the gym with like a ridiculously high humidity every single day. So everyone at the competition had talked all weekend about how hot it was and like how people were passing out and ambulances and all this stuff. And I I thought it was really comfortable. I didn't think it was
Wow.
really that hot outside. The only thing that bothered me was that the bars were so hot. It actually wasn't the heat that was really a problem. And the only difference that I drank a lot of water and I do electrolytes, but I do that anyway. And I just put on a t-shirt. I couldn't believe there were some girls who went out there and just had like a sports bra on, and I'm sure they have like a burnt line across their chest from how hot the bar was. Because you know how the knurling is, like the
Yeah.
chalk was in a lot of the knurling and it wasn't so hot, but like the middle part of the bar where there's no knurling, it was like a frying pan. I could feel it through my shirt. So that's really all I did. I put on a t-shirt and was really excited, ready to go.
Yeah, in the warm-up area, Taylor, when he was warming up, he was pouring water on his bar so that he could grab it, and there
Correct.
was
Yeah.
steam coming off of it, and he said it didn't even matter. He said the water didn't even cool the bar down at all. He said it was
No,
so
so that's why I thought it was wild that people were just putting that on their skin when we went out there. So
and, um, so it was what the workout was basically it was some form of Kalsu, right? It was thrusters. What was your weight? Was your weight 95 pounds?
I think yeah, our weight was 95 pounds. It was Kalsu, which I've never done before. Is that I think it's a benchmark workout. Is it a benchmark
I
workout?
think so, or if it's not, it's like it's
It's
close
like
enough.
a
It's in
popular
there. Yeah,
workout.
it's a popular, yeah.
But I don't know how the original Kalsu goes, but basically I think it's with burpees, but we did it with ring muscle ups, which actually I think made it easier. In some ways, you know what I mean? There's nothing easy about it, but it was just 100 thrusters for time, but every minute you had to stop, including the first minute, and do 3 ring muscle ups, and then they decreased it
Mm.
after 3 minutes and then after 5 minutes.
And when are you you're in the final heat?
Correct. Yep, we're right in the middle in the final heat.
And was Trista right next to you?
Yes.
And, do you remember, she had an event, right? She had to be carried. I think I remember seeing people, like, assist her off the floor, right?
I wasn't sure. I didn't know if there was something wrong or not. She seemed fine, like, throughout the event. I didn't see anything, but I didn't see her at the end because I was laying on the floor dying.
And and did they come over? I noticed that when people laid on the floor afterwards, they'd rush over and tell you to get up and get off the floor because the floor was so hot. Did they tell you that too?
They didn't tell me that. They actually I think they said that the men were coming out shortly, so we needed to move, but, I laid there for a minute, and then I could get up and walk around, but it was, it was warm on the ground, I will say. I wasn't bothered by the heat, like I said, but, I mean, once we stopped and you really felt how warm it is, like, right in the sun, it was hot.
Um, I saw I can't remember where, but it's some number. I wanna say she was around 40. I saw her walking back to her rings, and she looked like like a fighter who was stumbling, like who had been punched in the face. Like
If
she was not moving right.
if you're not used to the heat, it is no joke. It's being that hot and being under that much stress and pressure, and your adrenaline is spiked so high because you're about to start an event and it's the last one. Um, it's it's a lot of physical stress on your body, you know?
And then there was another girl there, I can't remember her name. She she's a really pretty Asian girl from CrossFit Invictus. I wanna say her first name's Emily. She's an Asian
Emily.
girl,
Hmm.
but I saw she came over. She just came running after the event. She basically stumbled into the crowd and landed in a lawn chair and put a shirt over her head, and she was writhing.
Really?
And really? Yeah, and I ran over and got her a water, and when she took the water, she couldn't even see who gave her the water. You know what I mean? She was just fucked up. She was I kinda I mean, I like it. I like to see the athletes push themselves like that.
I
You
like that.
know?
Well, I like that, and that's another thing about NorCal that's like really fun that I actually like. There's an element, and I know that CrossFit's like founded on being like variable and or constantly varied, I suppose. And I think that there's a variable in there that we don't really test as much, which is like I guess it wouldn't be called the element of surprise, but I would say the element of discomfort, and that meaning not every event was in like an air conditioned facility with like your very specific lanes and like a level floor and no dirt and no sun and like you know what I mean, there's no other elements, right? Whereas like at NorCal, like everything was like a lot. I wouldn't say everything is uncontrolled, but there was a lot more elements that were like more of a test, right? Like there was the heat, right? And there was the sun, and there was events where we didn't have our own lane, we had to run out and choose our own lane. there was sand and there was dirt, and sometimes like in certain lanes like the ground was uneven. And I just think that those are like elements where you have to be smarter, you have to like prepare yourself differently, you have to like just do a lot more thinking and be comfortable being uncomfortable in a different way. And I appreciate that. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. There's a little more fight in it.
Yes, yeah. It's not just like I'm just gonna go work out in front of people. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
Uh, um, so when you're out there and you're doing that version of Kalsu, do you, is she in the lane next to you? She is, right? Right next to you?
Trista or Emily?
Trista.
Trista was right next to me. Yep.
And so do you see yourself pass her and get motivated by that? Do you see you're ahead of her? Do you know? Are you watching her?
I was not at the beginning because I couldn't quite hear her judge. In fact, it was hard for me to hear my judge. Um, and I didn't really know where she was at the beginning, and I didn't really want to because I knew that that workout wasn't going to get real until like minute 7, you know, like, and, you know, really, really uncomfortable. I did hear myself pass her sometime around then, and then I just went. And another part of it was because Carolyn Provost was on the other side of me, and I knew that she's like excellent at anything with thrusters.
Right.
Um,
She's just good at everything anyway.
very, yeah, she's extremely athletic, very good at thrusters. She's smart, she's fast. So, and last year we had a thruster event for the last event too, and she just barely beat me. So I knew that me and her were going to be very close. And then when I started being able to hear that she was 1 rep ahead of me, that's when I really tried to speed up. And I just got lucky because she got no rep on a few, and I didn't get no rep on any, 0. And so that's really ultimately why I ended up in front of her. It's just because she got no repped a few times and I didn't.
I think I'm characterizing this right, but I remember speaking with Tudor and Taylor and Colton afterwards, and basically all of their plans went to shit quickly. Like they
Yes.
had these plans how they were going to do stuff,
Yes.
and they were all like, "Dude." Like after the first round, it was like, "Oh shit, this is not even going to go even close according to plan." Did that happen to you also?
Yes. So originally I was like thinking I was going to go out there and do 12 a minute. And I for sure thought we were going to finish it. Like I was like, oh, we're definitely going to finish it. Like everybody's going to finish it. Right. Yeah, no, that changed within, I
I
think
think
after the
only
first
one
set, I was
person
like, all
finished
right, well,
it.
I'm going to do 8.
Yeah,
So we're going to go from there.
I think Colton Mertens was the only person out of whatever
He was it.
500 athletes or 800 athletes or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think me and Carolyn got to like 91
Oh
or
wow,
2.
wow.
So we were close, but if you think about it, like we were at 91 or 2, but like we would still need probably at least 2 more minutes to finish it because we would have to do the ring muscle up buy-in, and we did a bunch in the very last set. So like we need another minute at least to finish it. So Colton, it was super impressive that he finished it. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. He's
He's a
very,
freak.
very good.
Yeah, he's a
He's a freak.
freak. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah. No, my
His
plans
his
went to shit. Absolutely.
his mindset seems like on a whole nother level.
I
He's
like
just
it.
like, yeah, I like it too. You do like it?
Yes, I like it. I think it's just a lot more, a lot less thinking and a lot more just like pure focus, but in a different way. You know what I mean? Um,
I think he uses his mind to strategize as opposed to complain. Meaning, I
yes.
think he's the kind of person who, like, no matter what he thinks about the workout, he knows it's not in his control. I never hear him worried about what the workout is or how many, or concerned about the programming. He's more like concerned about lane placement, where his chalk's going to be, how he's going to cycle it. You know what I mean? Like he's like,
Very logical. Yes.
yes,
All
yeah, like
about doing. Like it doesn't matter what, like I just feel like from what I've heard and read, it's like he, he can take a workout and not think about all the things that he can't control and just
right,
only think about the things that he can control and not think about them emotionally either, which is really important because like
right,
some people can think about it like, okay, these are the things I can control. Oh my gosh, I'm so worried about this or worried about that. Or like, what happens if this happens? You know what I mean? What happens if that happens? And instead, he's just like very logical, like not emotional about it, and is just ready to go and do the best that he can. And that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, and I think what we've seen in the last year too is he's added, fun to it. He looks like
Mhm.
he's having fun now.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think it just adds a whole nother element to it, which is why it's sometimes it's hard to remember, like that's why we do all this stuff. Like that's why you do this, right? Right? Question mark.
Was your
So
boyfriend there?
he was, yeah. He was in yep, he was there the whole time.
Does he get worried for you? I mean, I know he's a UFC fighter, so he's probably been surrounded by people who've been worried about him, but does he ever get worried for you?
I would say he is like my biggest cheerleader. I would say worried isn't the right word. But he's constantly pushing me like in a good way. Like he's constantly like, don't let the negative win. Like he's helped me a ridiculous amount mindset wise, because for a long time I think that part of the reason that I never did as well as I wanted to is because I do tend to be like more of a negative person, and he is just like super positive and very focused on like controlling what you're thinking all the time, like even if it's hard, you know. So no, I wouldn't say that he is worried for me. I would say that he is my confidence booster a lot.
So he believes in you.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the, greatest gift my wife gives me. My wife believes in me, and I
Yes.
feel it.
And I feel it, right? And so
Yeah.
that is like a whole different level of um support.
Yeah, it's a trip to me that, some people make it as far as they do in life, without someone who believes in them or with someone who maybe holds them back, and
Mhm.
it's like, "Wow, how did you make it this far with that person?"
And you don't really realize it until you have someone who really pushes you that way and supports you that way, and you're like, wow, like
Yeah.
that really changed how I performed or how I did this, or yeah.
Liz, what do you think, what do you think are the factors that take you from a who you were 2 years ago in the sport to who you are now, this part that's, like, got you on top of a podium as opposed to, 20th?
Oh, mindset.
Really?
Mindset, yeah. I mean, and not to say that like training isn't a big part of it, but I mean, there was like so many times that I look back and I look at like different numbers that I was hitting, or like different times that I finished on a benchmark workout or whatever, like 4 or 5 years ago, and they're better than now. Like that, and I'm not shockingly better than I was before. You know what I mean? Like as far as like numbers go, I would say that like my performance at events is totally different, like how I approach events, how I think about things, like, and it's taken work and it's taken time that I had to put in, and that's something that he helped me so much with. But yeah, I would say mindset, absolutely. It's you can be really good at training in a gym. Like everybody should be good at training in the gym, but like that's not what you're testing when you go out there. Like you're not just testing like how good you are at working out. You're doing so much more, and you have to have this like competitive mindset while you're doing it, and you have to know that you can do it and that you can be positive about it, and you don't have those negative things going through your mind, and that's how you're going to get to the top versus just like middle of the pack.
Like that Kalsu workout, if you would have done that 2 or 3 years ago, what do you think would have happened?
You mean if I had done it in a competition or if I had done it
Yeah, in a competition.
I think I would have probably like gone out really, really, really fast. I used to for a long time, like towards the end of the weekend, I would always die because I never ate enough throughout the weekend. That was another big part of things. I never really like thought about how things like I didn't put enough thought into the weekend. That was another part of it. So I wouldn't eat enough or I wouldn't drink enough. And so by the time that I got to the last event, I was just like half dead. And I just like would kind of talk myself into saying, oh, I know that Carolyn is like really good at thrusters, so she's probably going to beat me anyway. So I'll probably just plan on getting like third, you know what I mean? Or like, I'm just going to try my best, but that's really just a cop out to say like, I'm not going to try as hard as I could, or I'm not going to like push
Ah,
myself myself, you know what I mean? As much as I can. I'm not going to go out and my boyfriend says all the time, like, you can't just like expect to win because you're good. You have to go out and take it. Like all these other people are going and trying to take a win, right? You have to go out and take it. And I feel like that's what's different. Like you can't just like go out there and work out. You have to push a lot harder than that.
That's so interesting. When I see my boys compete, you can see there are kids out there, whether it's tennis or jujitsu or skateboarding or whatever. They just go out there. It's interesting too that he was in the UFC, because in the UFC, people don't play defense. That's what makes that kind of level the next level. By play defense, I mean both guys are out there from the beginning trying to take it. Whereas
Yes.
you go to a jiu-jitsu tournament, and if one guy's really aggressive, even though if he's not the best, the other guy will like play off of him and only go to the level that his competitor's at instead of just take it.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome that he gives you that. Do you think you think you can teach someone that?
I think that the best people, I mean, this is just how it is in probably all sports, but I think that the best people, the aliens, the people who are just the best at the sport, I think that it comes more naturally, along with, you know, like other things coming more naturally, right? I think that you can learn it to a point, but I think the people who are going to be the most successful are people who it comes more naturally to.
Yeah, like in the UFC, even the guy who's on his back is attacking from his back. Like he doesn't
Correct.
care.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah,
always
correct.
he's attacking, he's attacking, he's attacking.
Yep.
And then the second you see someone not attacking, you know they're fucked.
Absolutely, because you know that they're just like, you know what, it's okay. I'll just, you know, like they're giving it up. They're not taking it anymore. They're just like, they're letting it go, which is important even if you're not in a contact sport, you know. And I know that CrossFit is very far from contact sport, but yeah, it's just it's a better mindset for me that's helped me a lot.
What about the run at NorCal? Anything weird happen on that with you? I know listening to the boys talk that some people ran off course and they followed them off course. Did you have any issues like that?
Actually, so I'm not a great runner, honestly, and usually running events are not for me. But I was determined. I've been doing a lot of running, and I was determined to do well at this event. So I was actually, I think it was in like third, and I was feeling really good about it. And they made us do like basically like you do to figure eight. You went one way and you ran for like a mile, and then you went the other way, and it was like 4 miles, right? So when we went the first mile, Emily was in front, and she has a track and field background, so I know she's an excellent runner. So she was leading from the beginning, but we're all following her. It's like her, another girl, me, and we're all just following her, following her, following her. And then all of a sudden she's running and running and running. And I'm just focusing on, she was wearing something orange. I'm just focusing on her, like right in front of me, or like two people in front of me. And all of a sudden she just stops and she goes like this. And she's just like, wait, I think I went the wrong way. And I just stopped, like it literally looked like a cartoon. I like stopped in my heels so fast, turned around, went back the other way, and I was just yelling at people behind me who were all right, because everybody was stacked together because it was right at the beginning. And I was just like, turn around, turn around, turn around, and we all just took off and went the right way instead. But she actually is so fast that she just took off and still was in first. So she went the wrong way and probably ran like 50 feet down the trail the wrong way and still took off, came back around and got back in front. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what Taylor said too. He
Yeah,
said he said it was marked well, but he said he was
it
just
was.
following the guy in front of him.
Right. And if you're not paying attention and if you're the first or if you're the third person, you're just following the person in front of you. So after that, we didn't have any issues. But the beginning,
Did
it
you
was
end up
pretty.
in tall grass? I wonder if it was the same place. He goes, all of a sudden we were in really tall grass.
No, we were. It actually, the way that it was, so like we were coming off the trail and then you got onto like a paved road, which took you back to the front area to go to
Right.
the other side of the figure eight, if you will.
Yep.
But instead of turning onto the paved road, which it had an arrow, when I went back, I saw it. She just kept on the trail because the trail
Oh,
went
okay.
like the basically the road was just cutting the trail. So she just continued on the trail. She probably just thought that's where she was. And then as soon as she was running, that's when she stopped all of a sudden and put her hands up because the trail just kind of ended.
Mm, mm.
And all of us were like, oh no. And then we turned around and yeah.
There's a picture of you here with all dressed in let me see if I can find it. You're all dressed in like a black. Is it smoke jumping that you're doing here?
Oh, no, a few years
Oh,
ago.
smoke divers. Yeah, what is this?
Yeah,
This
so
this sounds scary.
it actually isn't any diving, contrary to the name of it, but basically it's like a really hard, I want to call it a certification, but it's really not that. It's a class that you take. It's extremely difficult to pass, and they for 6 days you go through just like a an aggressive amount of fire training, but it's a little bit different because it's a lot more focused on, I would call it mental toughness, but it's also physical toughness. So basically, every day they take you and you do like an hour's worth of PT in gear, with someone. I would say aggressively coaching you or yelling at you, and then you do like an hour's worth of like a basically like a fire type obstacle course that's really difficult, and then after that you do like a 4 or 5 mile run, sometimes more, sometimes less, all like in a group, very like military style, and then after that you do a bunch of like pass fail fire training. So everything is pass fail, and basically like, like it's difficult, and if you can't keep up then you don't pass. Um, so yeah, so I wanted to do it because everybody talked about it and there wasn't a woman who's passed it yet. So I did it, and I passed it, and I was really excited about it. And that's
Do
what
they
the reason
tell
that I go ahead.
no, sorry, you go ahead. That's the reason why
Uh,
what?
so that's I actually didn't that year Smoke Diver was the same week as quarterfinals. And so they released the quarterfinals events on Thursday morning, right? Or Thursday, maybe Wednesday, I'm not sure. And then this Smoke Diver ended on Friday night. So I ended up doing, I think, one of the workouts like early morning before class, and we had to report every day by like 6 a.m. And then I did the rest of them. I think one on Friday after class, and then, or after we graduated. And anyway, it ended up that I didn't qualify for semifinals that year, but that's kind of why.
Do you get a pay increase if you pass that course?
You don't. It's really all just for clout.
And so when you hear about, like, do you walk into the kitchen at the firehouse and there's a flyer up for this course and you're like, what's this? How do you know about it? Or does everyone
Uh,
know about it? Is it the one that's like, hey, no girls ever pass this?
no, I mean, it was just like more like advertised. So there are a lot of men in my department who have done it. And I actually, the chief who runs most of it, is on my department too. So that's how I knew about it. But yeah, I mean, it's like popular in other states too. Like each state has their own. So I'm the first woman to pass the Indiana. I think there's like Georgia has had one for a long time, probably 20 years. And there's been like 15 or 20 women who have passed. Maybe they've had it for longer, but I think that was the original, like, I don't know what to call it. That was the original smoke diver program. And then now it's branched out to other states, but it's state based.
Oh, so
That's
your
how I
state
found
is
out about it.
your state had the first one. It's kind of like one of the old ones. It's the oldest one.
No, Georgia was the oldest one, and
Oh,
then Indiana was one of the next few.
and so and you said it's 3 days
No, it's
a week,
Sunday,
9 days? Oh.
Sunday through Friday, so it's 6 days.
And do you sleep there or do you go home?
Actually, they have, so it depends on how far away you are. Well, actually, no, they made us sleep there. So they have a hotel that's like 5, 10 minutes away from the campus. And so you have to stay there. But I mean, you don't really do, most of the time that you get out of training in the evening, it's like really late. So even if you lived close, it wouldn't be smart to drive home and drive back.
Hey, do you salivate at things like this too? Because you're like, oh, I'm getting paid to train. Like, does this make you a better CrossFitter? Those things?
I think mentally it really does help you. I don't know if necessarily like physically it really helps you. I think that CrossFit helps me do that. Like for instance, at that
Sure.
training, the PT was like really hard. That's where most people would just quit because we started out with I think like 80 people and only 15 people graduated in 6 days. So I mean, like
Wow.
it was hard, and it's usually all people who, and it's all like everybody who goes is like choosing to go. So it's like all people who think that they can pass. You know what I mean? So I think that CrossFit helped me a lot with the PT aspect and the running aspect and the mental aspect, but I do think that it like was twofold because this helped me be better at CrossFit too. Because anytime that anything's like really hard, I'm like, this isn't even hard. This isn't even hard. That's what I tell myself over and over again.
Look
because
how
I'm not
happy
hot.
you are. Look how happy you
What's
are in
that?
this picture. Look how
I
happy you
was
are in this
I was
picture.
so happy. I was really proud of myself. I was really excited because I I wouldn't say I didn't know if I could pass or not, but I definitely knew it was going to be a really hard challenge, and it was hard. It was fun though.
Hey, what happens when people tap? Like, how does that what's that look like? So you're out there and there's 80 dudes there and you're outside and they give you is everyone wearing the same clothes even on the day one? And
Yeah, everybody has to wear the same clothes. They have like a little uniform thing, uniform that they have us wear.
and what happens when people start tapping? What's that look like?
I mean, at the beginning, there was like a big rush at the beginning when people tapped out. Basically, like uh, when PT got really hard and a lot of people are yelling at you, and you know it's physically exhausting, but it's day one. You see the guy in front of you tap, and you're like, I'm kind of tired. And I think that a lot of people will tap or whatever, and basically they just get up and they say they quit, and they're like, all right, get out.
No shit.
Yeah.
Like you'll be like in the middle of the workout, or like you'll be sitting in chairs afterwards, and the guy will raise his hand and be like, "I'm out."
Oh, there's no sitting in chairs. You're standing like the whole time. But unless you're eating lunch, which we had like 30 minutes to eat lunch every day. But yeah, I would say more like in the middle of PT. But it's not like it's so weird because it's not like a workout, right? It's like there's a difference between doing a workout and someone saying like, "Hey, I want you to go run a mile," and
Yeah.
someone saying, "Hey, I want you to go to run and don't stop until I tell you to." So you have no idea how much you're running, right? And I'm just using that as an example, but like that's the difference too with PT. Like if someone's yelling at you while you're like doing this like organized sort of training for an hour and you have no idea when it's going to end, it's a lot worse than knowing like, "Oh, I only have 5 more minutes of this," you know?
So and you don't know. You're saying in this situation, it's like a fire. You don't know.
Yeah, I would say it's just like an aggressive training that they just want to test your mental fortitude. You know what I mean?
God, that must have been awesome. And did anyone make it to like the second to last day and tap?
Uh, I think that there was a person who did. I can't remember. I think that there were maybe one person who didn't make it or like tapped on a really close time, but most of the time, or the way it was with our class, like once we got to like day 4, it was a pretty solid group. I think we were down to like 20, but we had lost a lot of people by then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Is that your
Yeah.
first time in a situation like that?
Yeah, a training like that? Yeah, that's the first time I've
Just
done
like
something
like I've never been in a situation like that where it's like, hey, there's 100 of you here. Only do they know? Do they tell you in the beginning, hey, only most of you aren't going to make it? They
Oh,
yell at you.
yeah, like, I mean, the year before, there was only, like, 5 or 6 people who graduated. I mean, you knew going into it was gonna be like that, but I don't think you're really ready for it because in your mind, like, you know, when you look at people and you're like, "Oh, this guy looks strong," or "This guy looks
Yeah.
like" or "This guy's experienced," or whatever, and it's like you have no idea who's gonna pass and who's gonna fail, and there were a bunch of people who dropped, and I was like, "Oh, I I wasn't expecting that," you know what I mean?
Liz, do they fuck with you extra hard? Is it like, and hey guys, Goldilocks here definitely is not gonna make it. Like, do they do any of that shit to you?
You know what? At the beginning, I think maybe a little bit, but
Do they
after
say
the
it
second
vocally
or third
like
day,
that? Like, that's what I'd say. I would be just fucking with the girl more.
yeah,
Do they do it out
after
loud?
actually, at first it was like that, but then after the second or third day, it was more like, hey, all you people in the front who are falling down, I just want you to know there's a girl in the back who's still in
Awesome.
push-up position.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, by the end, everyone has to be cheering for you, right? Like
Yeah, I would
like
say
those
it was better, right? By the end, they were just treating me the same, but at the beginning, yeah, I'm different, right? So
I mean, I would be so proud if I was in that class with you to be with the first woman who ever finished that. Those guys, I mean, that's awesome.
it was fun. I was really excited at the end. It was like almost as exciting as winning. Oh, it was about the same as winning NorCal, but it was a big part in my career, and also I had to choose between that and quarterfinals that year, so it was a hard decision, but I made the right one.
And what does your boyfriend say to you when you get home from this? Is he so proud of you?
Oh, he was there at the end when I like walked out and uh finished. I guess like you finish and there's like a big celebration and everything. He's just really proud of me. He makes sure that I know that.
Yeah, God, he must have been so proud of you. And the other spouses are there too?
Yeah, yep. The other spouses are there too. I gotta plug this in. The other spouses were all there too. And each person who comes out and finishes, there's a celebration, and it was really cool.
Why are you doing Crash? It wasn't NorCal like good enough for you? You went there, you got a good payday, really hard competition, high level athletes. Um, shouldn't you be just like licking your wounds and just chilling and celebrating?
You know what? That is an excellent question that you should ask my coach, because he told me he wanted to do Crash.
Uh-huh.
And I said I love Wadapalooza. I was a swimmer previously, so Wadapalooza has always been my jam. I really enjoy it. And I just like that it's like a cool, fun competition. It's a great time of the year. Just like while you're getting ready to gear up for everything, you know what I mean? But anyway, he said he really wanted me to do Crash, and I said, "Are you sure?" And there was another competition in Arizona that I was thinking about too. And he was like, "Are you sure you want to do that one? I think you would do really well at Crash." And I was like, "All right, we'll do Crash." So that is why we're doing Crash, even though it's a couple weeks after NorCal.
Are you all healed up?
I am, yeah. I didn't really see anything from NorCal. I actually used to have this problem with plantar fasciitis real bad, and it just disappeared. So that's been awesome. So I'm really excited.
The competition does have a lot of kind of mystique and like superstition around it. The people who do well there seem to go on to do really well.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of good people there, like people with a lot of experience there.
That's another reason that, and I know that I'm mostly joking when I say he's the one who said he wanted me to do it, but I do think it's important to compete against people who are really good. You know what I mean? So I mean, not obviously it's good to have really good competition, but yeah, a lot of the people there, I mean, including me, there's got to be like at least 6 or 7 people from the Northeast, which is a really good semifinal, along with girls who were at the games.
I mean, Olivia's going to be,
yeah.
I mean,
Kyra, Olivia's going to be there. I mean, there's a
Olivia.
lot of really good women who are competing there.
Yeah, it's going to be something else. I'm really excited. How do they seed you? Will they put you in because you won NorCal? Will you be in a final heat to start off? Do you know how they do that?
I don't think so. They actually just sent out the heat sheet not long ago. That's another thing that I noticed about Crash that's like really different from other competitions. I mean, he's just like the most communicative person I've ever had as a like an event organizer. I mean, they released all the events, all of the event details are released, everything's within email, like all of the athlete brief is online. I mean, it's just a really well run, seemed like a well-oiled machine. But yeah, they just released the heat sheet. So I'll have to look and see. I'm not sure.
Is your coach competing?
No.
Oh.
He is I'm through Brute Strength, and I just started that this year. Oops, I did that on accident.
Who's your coach?
L. Coach
Oh.
L. Yep. Hold on.
And how did you decide on him?
I actually oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. I was looking around I was looking around for coaches, and he followed me, or I found out about him on Instagram, not probably like 6 or so months ago. And I know he has a really good group of girls that he coaches, and I really liked that. I like having I get more of a community, you know what I mean? Like, but in a different way. I would suppose to say, like, I like people who I know are going to push me, right? And he has quite a few girls that are really good.
Yeah, he has Kelsey and Danielle for sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Kelsey, Danielle. He also has Ro. And there's another couple of girls too who are really good that he has, and I'm trying to think of them right now. But yeah, so all of us are good.
So he when you say your coach is very supportive or encouraging for you to go to Crash, it's him. It's Coach L.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. All right. That's cool. That Brute and he's part of Brute Strength. Do you ever work with Matt Torres?
I have not. No, I'm very new. So previously I was doing all the programming through my gym. So I've never like had like an online coach or anything. And then the gym owner of the gym I go to now, CrossFit 9 Degrees, was programming for me, and and doing some coaching too. But I just wanted something that was a little bit more advanced within the CrossFit spectrum, I suppose. So, and I liked that he had another couple girls too who were really good. So,
Yeah, it makes sense. If someone is, it's not even a dig at your coach. If someone's programming and their athletes are getting to, if you have, if you can get someone who has eyes on you, who's getting other people to the big show. I mean,
yeah, I mean, because it was less about programming for me and more about the other part, because in my opinion, and this might be different for everybody, but I think that once you get to a certain point, like the programming only matters so much as long as you're making sure to get everything in, you know? Like, I mean, it's important, don't get me wrong, but I think that you can succeed on many different types of programming. It doesn't have to be just this one or this other one. But I do think that it's important to have a coach with like a good, um, not personal relationship with you, but someone who can push you differently, or maybe even has the experience of pushing people differently. You know what I
it,
mean?
I think let me dig in there a second. So, because you said the words you used were it's the other part. The other part is what? I think that's what
Um,
you're trying to
I
explain.
would say the other part would be just the experience with high level athletes, the experience at a competition,
Mm.
the mental aspect of things, those other things that are just things that I think I would succeed more with having someone with a little bit more experience. And that's really my point.
It is really crazy. Matt Torres is on a tear over there at Brute.
Yeah,
Um,
they have excellent athletes. I mean, so many.
that a couple years ago they had Danielle, Fee, Dallin, James. Fuck, I'm forgetting someone. There were 5 of them. The girl who took a year off who ended up going to Mayhem. I forget her name. Emma. Is it Emma Carey?
Emma
Emma
Carey,
Carey.
yeah.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
all 5 of them one year, and then this year to have both Dallin. I mean,
And who's
Dallin's
the
basically his son. I mean, he has Dallin and James. I mean, that's it's wild. Who else did he have this year?
I was trying to think of her name, but you're James, that's who I was thinking of. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of good people all centered in one group. So I'm excited to be part of that. I've never done any programming that was outside of my gym, so it's all new to me.
And all different body types and personalities. It's not like he
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, it's really impressive. Is there anything that you wanna, mention? Do you have sponsors yet?
I do. I have a few sponsors. Yeah, I do.
An agent?
I do. Yeah, that's recent too. But yes, yep.
Did you win NorCal and someone reached out to you and says, "Hey, I'll be your agent"?
Actually, I think it happened right after. Yeah, actually, he didn't reach out to me. Actually, my coach helped me connect with him.
And who is
So
your agent?
I work with Rashad Barksdale with Mind Over Matter,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah,
He
and
was, I text with him. He's a cool dude. I really enjoy
yeah, he's really cool.
he's so easy to work with.
Very.
He was Colton's,
Yes, yeah,
manager.
he was Colton's, or he is. He was. I'm not sure.
I think that I would love to get Colton on here and hear the story, but I think he was with him, and then he switched to another guy. I don't wanna spread any rumors, and shit got weird, and so I think Colton's just, like, floating in, space right now.
Oh no. Okay, gotcha.
But I've always Rashad's a class act, and he's the kinda dude who, like, he's really easy. It's funny, I always take shots at agents. I should need to remember that he's out there because he's the kind of guy who'll just text me. He's like, "Hey, I have this athlete if you want to be put in contact." He's never like I never get any like EBGBs from him. He's just clean.
He's just
Yeah.
normal. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's just fucking normal. Yeah, and he's never I never feel like he's like starved for attention. Like when I see him, even though he's a fucking giant man, um, I never feel like I feel like he's almost invisible when he's at the events.
Oh, that's see, I just started working with him, but
Have
yeah,
you ever met him? He's a formidable character.
yeah, I just met him for the first time, like in
Yeah.
person. But yeah, nice
Yeah.
guy.
I don't wanna compare him to Suge Knight, but that's how I imagine, like, he's like the nice version of Suge Knight. And then who are your sponsors?
Right now, Benchmark Coffee. I just started working with them, and their coffee is really good, which is also cool. And Wild South, and
What's
there's
Wild South? Is that food?
no, Wild South is actually like a clothing brand. It's not like a
Okay.
clothing brand. It is a clothing brand. Um, and I really like all their stuff. It's nice. And then I've got one more too. Oh, I work with a meal prep company, and they're called Herculean. They're actually out of Indianapolis. Um, so I really like working with them too, especially for events, and I can just take all my food there. It's been wonderful.
Do you have relationships with all those people?
So Herculean, actually, I liked their products for a really long time, and then when I started working with Shrod, I mentioned that, and when we had a conversation with them, that's how I ended up working with them. So no, I actually don't have a personal relationship with them. I just liked them, and then
Right.
no, with the other
That's
people,
huge, by the way. It makes it so much easier if you actually like use the product.
yeah, like I actually like
I
it.
mean,
Well, and I used it
then you don't have
before,
to be
like so.
staging
I mean, it
shit.
was no big deal. What's
Yeah.
up?
Then you don't have to be staging shit.
Right,
You can be like, well, you can just hand your phone to your boyfriend and be like, "Hey, will you take a picture
correct.
of me eating this?" You don't got to be like, "Oh fuck, I got to go fucking find this shit and like do
Or I
it."
have to microwave it and just pretend,
Yeah.
like no, it's I liked them before. I've been using them for like 2 years, so that was really cool. I mean, same with the coffee too. Like I just, when I've taken videos of me like just drinking coffee in the morning because that's the coffee that I wanted to drink that morning. You know what I mean? Not the other way around, so that makes it a lot easier too.
Well, I'm looking forward to see you compete at Crash. When I was at NorCal, I didn't see any of the women's competition. Actually, I didn't watch anyone besides Taylor and Tudor and Colton. I was just kind of like chilling. But this week, I'm gonna watch all the events, men and women. We're gonna cover them on the Sevon podcast. We're gonna broadcast everything. Um, so I'm excited to see you go get it. And
I'm excited. Thank you.
and I appreciate you coming on. You should do more podcasts. You're a great guest.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. And hopefully, we'll be interviewing people, on the live feed throughout the week. So hopefully, we see you.
That sounds great. All right.
All right. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. Liz Wishart. My fucked up camera. What the fuck is going on here? This is never happened before, and this is the second time it's happened. Battery exhausted. Why? Why is battery exhausted? Why? Huh. I wonder if something's going on with that camera. Why would that get exhausted twice in a row? I leave the cameras on all the time. I never turn them off. I wonder if something got unplugged. Let me see if I can turn my flash. Maybe I don't know. That can't happen tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the exerciser guy coming in. Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? No, I wasn't talking. Can you hear me? Audio. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, you can hear me. All right. Did you guys see Emhoff slap the shit out of his girlfriend? Kamala's husband? Crazy. I can't imagine. I was asking my wife, I'm like, why would she be with him? Why would she be with him? God, he's a schlep. And he slapped the shit out of his fucking girlfriend in public. And he fucked a nanny and got the nanny pregnant. No, it wasn't Kamala. He slapped the shit out of this fucking chick at the Cannes Film Festival, just in public. Just she put her I guess she put her hand. They were leaving the Cannes Film Festival, going to the airport, flying home from France, and she put her hand on the valet guy's shoulder. And then they said that he then tapped her shoulder, and when she turned around, he just slapped the shit out of her and spun her around. There isn't video of it, but he's not denying it. And the lady's an attorney in New York City who he slapped the shit out of. And I don't think he is going to deny it because he doesn't want her coming forward. Dude, who did not hear this bullshit? Yeah, well, I know. That's what I was thinking. Talk about insecure. And who fucks their nanny and gets her pregnant? God, that just seems so sloppy. Yeah, he should have just grabbed her by the pussy instead. Yep, I agree. Or you don't even have to grab her by the pussy. Just know that you can and just don't do it. How about that? I know, that's what's funny. So that's the crazy part, right, Mike? Supposedly, this guy Emhoff, being a fucking fat beta cuck that he is, has reshaped the face of masculinity just by being just a complete bitch and being attracted to dumb women. Do you know how I see it is like, if you're gonna be with a powerful woman, be with a powerful woman. I see Kamala as just a straight poser. Kamala's no Liz Wishart. But yeah, so he cracked his chick and fucked the nanny and got her pregnant. And has a daughter that's not really a daughter. It's pretty amazing that they won't respond to it either. What if they had him debate Melania? He'd be like, Melania, your husband fucked a whore and gave her hush money. And she'd be like, you fucked a nanny and got her pregnant and gave her hush money. And she'd be like, your husband said that he could grab a girl in a pussy if he wanted. She goes, yeah, you slapped your bitch at Cannes Film Festival in front of a bunch of witnesses. I don't think Trump would ever fucking strike Melania. The NFL declined the 49ers' request to wear white jerseys this Sunday due to heat. It's supposed to reach 95 degrees Sunday in Santa Clara, but the 49ers will have to stick with their red jerseys while the Cardinals wear white. The 49ers were able to switch from gold to white pants for the matchup. Frank Fikowski from the PFAA weighs in and says, this is despicable. We will be taking over the role of the NFL Players Union as they are not supporting the NFL players the way they should. But the NFL has a players union. They would never let them do that. Uh-huh. Right. I wonder who's more effective, the NFL Players Union or the PFAA? Okay, I'm going to unplug this. Nope, not that. You guys want to see me work on my computer stuff while... Should I do that after the show or should I fix my camera now? You guys want to be a part of this? God, I'm so fucking annoyed by this. I don't like being orange. How the fuck does this battery come out? Oh, you know what I need to do? That's what I need to do. I need to... Ah, yes. Ah, yes. God, we got to get the video contest done. I got to figure that out. Sousa's done his part. Now it's all on me. I know you guys are like, where's my $5,000? I know. It's coming. It's coming.
My name is Steven Rivero. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Ecuador and I go to Salty Hive CrossFit. My first day was so nice. Like all the people were like, "Oh, let's go," because it was wall walks. Love wall walks. I did decent and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, you cross that," and I just felt good, not because they were saying that to me, just because the intention of them, which was make me feel comfortable here. And I love that. I felt the warmth of the place, and that was really good. I was going home, and I remember like driving. I was like, I like that a lot. And then here I am. I think I have more than 2 years here. I'm like, I'm not quitting this place. I moved pretty far from here, but still, I always try to make it. I'm like, I don't mind to drive a lot because for me that's the place where I love to be. I get all my problems out and I just come here, have fun, suffer of course of all the bunch of workouts that we had, very hard, but that's the point. I mean, like, nobody like obligates you to do it. It's just how I like it here and how it makes me feel always, every single day. This is my peace space and happy, enjoy everything here.
All right. We're back. All better. That's gonna be a tough comp for Miss Wishart. Okay. Wow, there's so many videos in here. Videos. Should we start watching some of them? You guys want to sit around and watch videos all day with me? Fuck, it's hot in here. CrossFit Sherwood Park, CrossFit Utah Valley. CrossFit. Wow, there's so many from Sherwood Park. Wow, how many did they turn in? CrossFit FC, Jeremy Whitrock, CrossFit FC. Oh man, this is going to be crazy. Is this person wearing a wig? Oh no, that's a person. CrossFit Travelers Rest. Wow, one guy turned in 7 videos. Oh my God, another guy turned in 10 videos. Mad Mare CrossFit. CrossFit 801. Standard Strength. Oh, what is this one? Let's see this one. Caleb Shaver. Oh, wait, what? Oh no. Okay, I'm going to play this one. Let me see what the fuck's going on with this one. Why is this one framed like this? Okay, here we go. Let me see this one. How come this name sounds familiar? Emma McLeod. Okay, ready? Action.
My name's Emma McLeod. I'm 20 years old, and I have been a member of Wotown Fit since March of 2022. One part that I really love about
That's the dumbbell I use. Me and her use the same dumbbell. What is that, like a 20-pounder?
Wotown, and that's been a big inspiration for me, is my dad. We actually started here around the same time, and I love coming to work out with him, and he pushes me and I push him, and I feel like that's just a really special bond that we have together coming here to work out. Another aspect that I love about Wotown is that we just feel like one big family here. I mean, that's probably our biggest saying is Wotown family. And I feel like I've always just connected with that, because something a lot of people might not know about me is I've kind of had a hard time making friends since starting college. And that's just something I've really enjoyed. Being here at the gym is just connecting with so many people. And it really is true. It's a family. Like, we all have this one thing that we all have in common, and it's just something that we share as a family. I love knowing that I can come up here and anybody here would be here for me for anything that I'm going through. And I think that's the most important thing for me, is that the family part of it. I just love coming up here and everyone being there for you and everyone cheering you on, and knowing that even in your hardest days, you have people there for you.
Oh my God, she's fucking adorable. All right. There's one. We watched one. All right. Fill out your judge's scorecard, please. Okay, what is this one? This one starts strong. Here we go. Here we go.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause. Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Alrighty. Another one down. I don't know how you vote. I have fucking no idea how you vote. The first one I watched that makes me cry is the fucking winner. How's that? I feel like I should give that dude another chance. Who made that one? I think the music was too strong for the video on that one. Okay, what's this? This filmmaker's name is Sarah Eckert. Okay. Here we go. Let me see what the fuck's going on here. Come on, baby. Give me the tears.
My name is Braden. I am 25 and I go to Northbound. When I started, I was 260 and I'm down to, well, I'm at 195 and I've been keeping that for almost a year and a half now. It was simple because all I had to do was show up to 6 a.m. If I didn't come, they'd be like, oh, where were you, Braden? You know, it's like, you know, that's such a good, like, reminder to know, like, oh, A, they missed me, but B, they want to see me succeed. And I didn't have to think about what to do. I didn't have to think about what I had to figure out in the gym. I just showed up and it was on the board. You know, like so many things that are physical and active, I feel so much more confident, like trying my hand out. And I would just say find people to do it with. Doing something with people is way more fun than doing it alone. Enjoy the process because it's going to take longer than you think. I mean, if I knew when I started this how much work it's going to take to get to where I'm at, like I might not have done it. And so I think like having the people around you to keep encouraging you, reminding you of where you came from, reminding you where you're going, and just having that community aspect and that accountability too. That's just really going to make your journey so much better. The community here has been always encouraging, always uplifting. I've never felt shame for what I can do, but only encouraged for what I did do.
60. Damn, good job, Sarah. All right. There you go. I'm just randomly picking. There's so many back here. Oh, what's this one? CrossFit Apex. Oh, shit. This one looks gnarly. Okay. What did you say? That one's whack? No, that one, I don't know. I didn't think that one was whack.
My husband and I tend to take very active trips because we're aware that at some point in our lives, we're not going to be able to do that. We've been to the Chilean fjords, and that's where we had kayaked a number of times, including the Magellan Straits. We went to Antarctica this past year and had to climb a very steep hill to see penguins. And we had about 20 pounds of gear on with our boots and life jacket and everything. And I remember standing at the bottom of the hill thinking, it's going to take a while. But again, CrossFit came into my mind and I thought, I can do this. It's another workout. It's just like having a 20-pound weight vest on. I've been so grateful over the years because if it weren't for CrossFit, I wouldn't be able to have those experiences and more on a day-to-day basis, caring for our grandchildren. I don't know that I could care for them. Sometimes I've had to pick both of them up at the same time. That's over 50 pounds of kids. And I don't know that that would be possible at my age. I'm 67, so I'm grateful.
That one's cool. Is that Tanya Wagner's gym, CrossFit Apex? Listen. Beautiful video, Grandma. Don't pick up both kids at the same time. Let me just okay, that's just free. Pick up both kids same time. Don't do that. That's fine. You don't have to do that. Just don't do that. Okay, what's this one? Oh, what's this one? Oh, this one's shot kind of funky. I mean, it is fucking bold to shoot this shit vertical. Like bold. Like crazy bold. Let's go on a rant today. Okay, I could talk to you about grandmas picking up both their kids at the same time. No, don't. No one wants you picking up both their kids. But I get it. It was good for the video. It was fine. Don't get fixated on it, Sevi. Okay, here we go.
Samuel Casiano. That's my name. Sports background. I was small. I was a very small athlete. Graduating high school, I tried college. I was working out with the football team, had high hopes. I flunked. I flunked out of college in the first semester. I told my mom and my dad, I'm not going to be a failure. I'm not staying around here. So I enlisted in the military. I jumped out of airplanes. So I had a bad jump. I hurt my back. They kind of kicked me to the curb. So I went to school. Barbering is an art. So I took it up because I was cutting the airborne school and I got paid for it. People paid me to do it. Yeah, I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, what is that? She's like, oh, that's a gym. I was like, what kind of gym? She's like, oh, we do CrossFit. I never really see Black people doing CrossFit. So I was kind of nervous, especially with a background coming from like the racism I've been through. But over time, I got over it because I was like, not everybody's like that. But at the time, shit like that hurts. I tried my first day of class. Justin really made me feel comfortable with coming. When I actually got into the Metcon, I was like, this is the type of shit that I wanted to do. My overall goal is probably not even to win the CrossFit Games, just to get there. If I can pull it all into one CrossFit for me, especially like Tar Heel CrossFit, it brought me a peace of mind. When I step in here, it's peace.
Oh, I like that dude. I'd have that dude on the show. Now he likes white people. Yes. CrossFit. Learn to like white people. Do you hate white people? Join a CrossFit gym. We will cure you. That seems like a cool dude. You know what's crazy too is I didn't that whole time I watched that I wasn't even distracted by the fact that it was shot vertically. Let me see another one from this Tar Heel CrossFit. Let me see another one from Tar Heel. Let me see this one. Okay, this girl looks happy. Let me see. Oh, speaking of I need to have Darian back on. Darian Week, speaking of barbers. I had him scheduled to come on the other day, and it was kind of cool. His wife texted me and said, "Hey, dude, he's not even out of bed. He's so sick."
Walking into a gym at 350 pounds is obviously very intimidating. Walking into a CrossFit gym full of shirtless athletes at that weight is very interesting. I walked into a really busy class and I felt like the biggest person in the room, and that was terrifying. This whole time I was thinking in my head, like, I can't wait until I lose the weight and then I'll be confident too. I lost 115 pounds and I actually hated myself more. And I became obsessed with working out and strict dieting because I wanted to look like my friends, and it was actually hurting me more. I've learned that fitness is not what I look like. Fitness is me not being pre-diabetic anymore. Fitness is me getting stronger every day. Fitness is me running 2 miles straight without stopping for the first time in my life. Every person in my gym has played a role in my journey. They do not feel sorry for me. They treat me as any other athlete in the gym, and they push me to be better every day. I'm working on appreciating and being kinder to myself. I'm still a bigger athlete and I'm still plus size, but that doesn't mean that I'm less than, and I am more than what I look like. I'm learning that it's okay for my body to be seen. My body has taken me through a lot of chapters in my life. I'm going to appreciate the chapter that I'm in and continue to work hard every day. I'm thankful to be on this journey forever with Tar Heel.
Okay, I love her. Holy shit. That chick's fucking cool. I like her don't give two fucks attitude. Love her hair. That was great. Okay, Tar Heel, 2 for 2. Shit. Wow. Vertical too. I think that's like not even I don't think that's like following the rules. They don't give a fuck. Didn't that girl look black in some of the shots and white in some of the other shots? Oh, what's this one? Orleans CrossFit. Saul. Should we try another filmmaker? Saul Brown. Orleans CrossFit. Okay, here, let's try this one. I'm on a fucking roll right now. Okay. It's kind of a pain in the ass clicking all these buttons. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Catherine. I do CrossFit at Orleans CrossFit, aka OC Fit. To me, OC Fit means community. It doesn't matter if you know the person or not. They'll definitely come up to you, give you a fist bump. If you don't know them, introduce yourselves. And you all kind of have this one thing in common, right? Is that you're here to do a hard workout and you're showing up for yourself. So we all have this like core value of like hard work, community support. So I think that's definitely what I love the most about this gym. It's the best part of my day. Like, I think I wake up and the thing I look forward to the most is coming to the gym. Sometimes I even come twice just to see the people and make myself feel better. We often hear this, right? Like, I'm not sure if I'm fit enough. I am telling you to stop thinking that, challenge that thought, because that's not true. You can show up here and you can do what you can, and that'll be the best thing you've ever done for your health, physically, mentally. You can do it, definitely. You can scale everything. We're here to support you. We want you to join us, so please join CrossFit. No, seriously, it'll be the best decision they've ever made for themselves, and also probably the people around them. They'll be happier, show up better for everyone else if they show up for themselves first. So I can almost assure you that everyone leaves feeling happier, might be a little sweaty, but you definitely feel better. So to me, OC Fit is a community.
Is that the owner? Yeah, that chick's body was crazy, wasn't it? I'm trying to be cool, but like, fuck, dude. How could you not? What a fucking specimen. That was a genetic specimen. That was a fucking genetic specimen. Was that the owner of that gym? What a fucking inspirational character. Some people are just inspirational looking at him. Man. I like her too. She's cool as shit. Where are we? Fuck, I have a lot of windows open. Is that the owner? She talked like she's the owner. Did I see what's this? Now you got me spending cash. Play Richard CrossFit Kenosha. Oh, I don't know if I could if I see it, I'll play it. It's just fucking chaos back here. I can't really, if you know YouTube, the back end, I don't see any they're just organized by the submitters, but not in any order besides that. Like everyone's all like if you submitted 5 videos, they're all 5 together, but other than that, I can't I'm just randomly picking them. I can't wait till I have all of these plugged into the back end and I can just play these all the time. Oh, Jason Houlihan. I just picked this because the girl in the thumbnail has great hair. Okay, here we go. These are great. These are better than I thought they'd be. We're on a roll now. If I see Kenosha, though, Joe, I'll for sure pull it up. All right, let's see what's going on here.
Well, my experience with other gyms was just I would give them, the money. I would go in and I would stay consistent for a month, maybe not even a month, couple weeks. I came in on a Saturday, I believe, and Coach Brian was our coach, and we had 400 meters of lunges. That was the first workout I did here. I loved it. Still love it. Brian had a bet, apparently, with some of the others that I would never make it. I did, Brian. Still here. So it helps relieve stress, but it also this is just where you come. This is my family. The other day, I was in the middle of a workout and I found out that my grandmother died, and I would not have wanted to be anywhere but here, finding that out, because I was with my people. So they help in too many ways to count.
Oh, that's intense. That's cool. Was it that I love that. Was it the owner who bet that she wouldn't stay? God, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff I like about CrossFit. All right, we got a new chick. She ain't gonna last. That's cool. All right. Barefoot burpees, yeah. Was she wearing contacts? Were those her real eyes? Oh, that's your gym, Chris? Oh, Travis, I saw that. That's a pretty funny post. Kamala's new book. What is this? Oh, wow. All right. Hold on. We have to take a small detour. This isn't a CrossFit video. Someone sent me this and they said Sevon's going to fall in love with this girl. It's a redheaded Danielle Brandon. Let me see what's going on here.
Carolina. I'm at the staging area. I volunteered myself and my canines to come up and do some search and rescue efforts. Here's the situation. Okay. FEMA is in the area, and we've been told that if we see any FEMA agents, like, hightail it and go. So obviously you see all my equipment. So we've been told to just turn around and go the opposite direction, because what they're doing is they're confiscating everything. Like, they would confiscate all of my gear, my car, my dogs, like literally everything. There are some people who have been tracking these FEMA agents and what they do with these supplies after. And these are people that are directly associated with the group that I'm volunteering with. And essentially what they're doing is they're taking these supplies to sanctuary areas for illegal migrants and giving it all to them. They are telling the locals here that they have no more money, that they can't give them any money, they can't do anything, but they are confiscating volunteer supplies as they come through, and they are giving it to people who are not legal within the country.
Every single fucking person who's been on the show this morning has a fucking nose ring. What the fuck is going on? Do not punch a hole in your fucking nose. Okay, why this is the hottest chick in the world who's ever existed now telling us that their FEMA is confiscating gear and giving it to illegal aliens? Okay, how the fuck am I supposed to really believe that? Is this shit really happening? I know, like, what the fuck? I that can't be fucking happening. That doesn't even make any sense. She gets a pass. Yeah, this chick's fucking gnarly. I need to see her get out of her car. I need to check all her shit out. Does she have an OnlyFans? Rectacular. Yeah, her tits are crazy. But is this really happening?
Of course it is very hush hush. Of course they're saying that that's not what they're doing.
Is that her real hair? Is that what extensions look like? Is that really her hair?
I will tell you this. I was 11 years in the Coast Guard. I was in Puerto Rico.
Thank you for your service. Fuck. You think guys hit on her when she was in the Coast Guard?
Before and during Maria and Irma. I was stationed in Boone, North Carolina. I'm at the staging area. I volunteered myself and my canines to come up and do some search and rescue efforts. Here's the situation.
Wow. I don't think she's a creep. Be cool, Mike. That's not cool. She's not a creep. She's just, I think, I mean, that's a little creepy where I froze it, but she's not a creep. That's not nice. I wonder if that's really what happens. You go up there with supplies and they take them and give them, wow. Let me read. FEMA confiscated gear, supplies, life-saving assistance. If a FEMA agent tries to take your stuff, take them out. Simple. It's time. Wow, that's brutal. No one's confirming it. If you Google Truman Anderson Katrina, you'll find information about my dad. He lied to FEMA and officers about the vehicle. He had been broken so that he would be able to use it to get off the peninsula and help others. They were taking everything from everyone and leaving people stranded. This is not the first time they've done this. I don't understand how a FEMA agent could take my car from me. Yeah, how can they take your personal stuff? Are they armed? That's a good question. That's what I want to know. How can they? Yeah, how do they do that? Yes, but they're sissies. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, how crazy. Do you remember when that? Do you remember when the tranny shooter fucking went into that Christian school and shot that school up and killed a bunch of kids? And then that day, the White House put out a on their Instagram statement of compassion towards trannies. They didn't even mention the shooting, and it was like, wow, what the fuck? And then do you remember how this past Easter, on Easter, they made it like National Tranny Day? And then yesterday, they made an announcement that they're giving $157 million to Lebanon for aid. Doesn't their timing seem a little off? And did you see what Joe Biden did? Kamala was going live to make an announcement somewhere, and then Joe Biden did his first press conference in the press room at the I think it's at the White House with the media, with the press. That's the first one he's done in the entire history of his presidency. I heard reported, and he went live the same time she did. And the irony is they were talking about how well they communicate. He's like, we're a team and we work perfectly together, and yet he upstaged her. So it's something weird's going on. Yeah, he said straight up how aligned they were. And then he went live the same time she went live. God, that was weird. I'll be thinking about that that redheaded chick all day. That was crazy. That was like probably the most beautiful woman who's ever lived. That's like that thing was crazy. Except it had a hole in its nose and it was covered with tattoos, but I don't pick my friends based on if they have tattoos or not, but I think it's a pretty strong correlate that the people who don't have tattoos are in general just way fucking more reliable, cooler people. Stable. And I'm being very nice when I say that. I'm being very gentle.
This woman is running for president of the United States. She tweeted out, and I quote, took a moment with Alex and Cooper to see if we could think of any law that gives the government the power to make decisions about a man's body. The answer, no. Here's the video clip of that.
I want to take a moment, and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision? I know what you're going to ask. About a man's body. No.
I repeat, this woman is running for president of the United States. The answer is not no. The answer is the draft. The government can literally decide to draft you into the military and send you across the world to fight in a war that they deem necessary. And this woman is running to be the commander-in-chief and doesn't even know this. It's called the Selective Service System. The Selective Service System is an independent agency of the United States government that maintains a database of registered male U.S. citizens and other U.S. residents potentially subject to military conscription, i.e. the draft. I repeat, this woman is running for president of the United States. Absolutely unreal. She's on the podcast having fun, giggling, doing girly stuff, but just spreading misinformation. And it's funny because they think it's so cute. A law that governs the draft in the United States is called the Military Selective Service Act. Again, this woman is running for president and has no idea what she's talking about. This woman is running for president.
How is abortion protective over women's bodies if you abort female babies? I don't think it has anything to do with sex. It has to do with age. You can kill people who are younger than 9 months and 1 week old. Like if they were like, if they abort babies that are both men and women, boys and girls. Jay Hans, I disagree. Some of the most badass people I've served with were tatted out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Listen, you keep those. I agree. Some of the most badass people I've ever met are tatted too. I'm just talking about, like, if you wanted to have kids with someone, probably tattoo's a bad correlate. Hole in the nose, bad correlate. I'm just saying, like, you pick someone like me, no tattoos, no piercings. I'm completely fucking stable. Colton Mertens, no tattoos, no piercings, completely stable. I bet you James Sprague doesn't. Jason Hopper, Down Pepper. Like we don't go to mental health conferences. We don't have. We're just reliable. Just as a correlate. I'm not saying it's like a definitive trait. I could have been got drunk at a Diddy party and someone could have put a tramp stamp on my lower back. I'm not suggesting that it's I'm just saying, just think about it. Yeah, pool boy. I'm just saying. Who did I hear interviewed yesterday who said that he wishes he wouldn't have gotten tattoos? Who's the UFC fighter? He fights at 145. He's got the neck. Corey Garbrandt. Is it Corey Garbrandt? I heard him being interviewed yesterday. He's like, what the fuck was I thinking getting these tattoos? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not putting your shopping cart away, not marry material. I totally agree. What's worse, marry material, Mike, is people who feel like they have to put shopping carts away. Those are the same people who feel like they had to get a tattoo. Oh, your wife, that's fair. My wife's got tattoos. She's stable. I mean, for a woman. She's stable for a woman, you mean? Right? That's what you meant? How could a woman be stable when fucking the entire fucking population is trying to fucking put meat in you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, women are like the deer of the two sexes. Like, you have to be kind of like a little bit, you know how deer are like a little skittish? Like, how could you not be like a little skittish? Meat is a stabilizer. Oh. I can't wait till I get a tattoo. You guys are going to fucking love that. That's going to be a fucking highlight for some of you. I thought you said only crazy people get tattoos, Sevy. I can't wait. I'm going to get a fucking face tattoo. Can't wait. I'm going to start looking today.
Is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here, Rebecca, is also to make sure that the communities who are potentially impacted are prepared as well. And it's not just hurricanes and wildfires, also extreme heat, which certainly some parts of the United States are already experiencing.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is sounding the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This all comes as the Biden-Harris administration spent over $1 billion from a FEMA program on services for migrants.
FEMA is tremendously prepared. This is what we do. This is what they do. And the key here.
I know, this is insane. This is insane, dude. Is there a helicopter flying over my house? Where was Paper Street Coffee made it? Didn't Cody just get a tattoo on his face like a month ago? I think that's what he was referencing. He was being interviewed and he's like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? It's a great question. Why are you getting a tattoo? There's a I'm trying to get one of the helicopter pilots on the show who's been flying over the area. Hopefully I can get him to come on the show and tell us what's really going on. I don't even know what to believe anymore. No fucking idea what to believe. How about this? You believe this shit? Look at this shit. This shit's crazy. There's so much crazy shit on the internet.
Fellow missionary family to Mexico who were with cartel members. We see them convert to Christianity, saying how they traffic thousands of children, specifically to Democratic politicians, and they actually said the biggest client for their product is the U.S. government, and that actually exploded under the Biden administration.
Wait, so the cartels were telling your family they
yes,
were
directly in prison.
They were trafficking kids to Democrats?
Yes.
So it's legit. Cartels are trafficking kids as sex slaves for Democrats?
Yes.
Is this modern day slavery?
Yes, they are.
So just to give some detail for the audience.
Yes, sir.
You have an 11-year-old girl.
Yes.
What do they do with that girl?
They actually have to hide her. We were in Coahuila, which is where the Zetas were at. They just got eliminated, but they were the biggest traffickers. They actually kind of begin to dismantle under the Trump presidency, even for the Mexican government. But the biggest we've known people that had to leave states, hide them, literally take them, like just completely.
And these girls become prostitutes
100%
at 12 years old.
Yeah, parents have sold their kids into it just to survive.
So when you hear that 320,000 kids have gone missing under Kamala Harris,
100% accurate. We see thousands of migrants on top of trains coming across, just destroying everything across the path.
do they mean America well or harm?
Absolutely harm.
So the cartel works with the American government
100%. So
to bring these kids as sex slaves.
Yes,
This is not a joke, everybody.
this is not
we've been saying this for a long time.
You guys can go. We have
It's the
Facebook
largest.
pages and
It's the
everything
largest
over there,
sex slave trade in the world history.
100%.
And Kamala Harris is overseeing it and co-signing.
I come from a missionary family to Mexico.
What the fuck? No tattoos, no piercings. How much more seriously do you take this guy than someone with piercings? Getting piercings is just like setting yourself up for failure. It's like a mating call on your face. It's like a mating call for unstable people or people who just want to take advantage of you because they see your instability. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just like, I'm just telling you the truth. That's like it's a subliminal I don't even know if it's subliminal. It's not subliminal for me. So this kid just got up and him and Charlie Kirk are saying that the Democrats are the largest consumer of fucking child sex slavery. All right. If you say so. Fuck. I can't I don't even know I don't even know how to process that. I watched another Diddy video yesterday. It was like 25 minutes long. And the first 12 minutes are just like basically executing him for the fact that he had sex parties. And I just can't execute someone for that. Like, so what if he had sex parties? I don't like, it was just like, it was trying to like, there were in the second half, they got into shit like they talked about how Usher was at his house when he was 13, and Usher said he would never fucking let his son go to live with Diddy the way he did, and he saw stuff he couldn't process, and that kind of gets my antlers up a little bit. But rich rappers doing drugs and fucking with baby oil, like I'm like, well, I hope so. New leaked footage of Diddy, Jennifer Lopez, and Jay-Z goes viral. What is this? Wow, look at this. Is this live? Iran missile attack on Israel starts. U.S. alerts IDF to Lebanon invasion.
المطار دخل مطار
Is this really live?
المطار دخل يا ولد لا المطار المطار دخل لا المطار ده يمنع عن تحرك مثير
Israel Army
المطار
confirmed sirens sounding across.
يا رب الله يا
This is real? If Israel's really getting hit like this? Is this really going on? No, no, Olivia. I'm not. I think you're mentally unstable because you have piercings. Who cares? No. Who cares if you have piercings too? Doing. I'm not suggesting that at all. I think you've interpreted what I've said. I'm not suggesting that it makes me stable. Hi. Ask Mom if Israel's being fucking attacked. If this is real, this is crazy. This is fucking the beginning of World War III right here. They're really launching this many missiles into Israel. Geez, look at that. That's crazy. Look at that sky. Those are all missiles coming from Iran. Is that really happening right now? Dude, that is nuts. Oh, someone wrote this footage is in a loop. Oh, maybe this is from the other night. That's a week ago, dummy. Okay. Several days ago, I believe. Well, it says live. All right. Fair enough. Thank you. Yeah, someone wrote old footage. Oh, that. No, I wasn't suggesting that a freak off makes you normal. Not at all. I'm just saying you're not guilty for getting a tattoo of any crime, and you're not guilty for adults fucking jumping on a. Hi, Avi.
Hi.
What's up?
McKenna's here.
Oh, that camera's not working.
It is what?
This camera's not working. I don't think.
Oh.
Let me see. Oh,
It doesn't have to work.
you can just use your voice.
Yeah.
Howard, did you just wake up?
No.
You have your morning voice. Did you do your schoolwork already?
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
Good.
I was having camera issues this morning. Did you watch the show this morning?
Mm-mm. How long did it take to put all these things on the roof and on the walls?
I don't know. I was in here for I feel like I was in here for like a week. Let me see if I can extra camera. There we go. Okay, there's your picture. What's the plan today?
I'm either gonna do tennis, swimming, or boxing.
Did you already do boxing?
No,
When do you go? Soon?
no.
Why? Did she just get here?
Yeah.
Can you play tennis?
Mom thinks I can, but I think I can't.
Because your
I'm
back?
gonna try Wednesday. So
Okay.
I have 2 chances.
Your back's bothering you?
Yeah.
Show me where.
Like lower right back.
Hmm.
It doesn't hurt when I walk. It hurts a little bit when I sneeze.
Hmm.
Uh,
You're just like your dad. What's it like being 10?
no difference than 9.
Yeah.
Once you get 13, there's probably a difference. Right?
Maybe.
You start getting puberty and stuff.
Oh, yeah, puberty.
Feel big changes.
Oh, shit. I didn't pay the cable bill this month. I better do that. God, that would suck if our internet went down. Then I wouldn't have a podcast.
That would be crazy.
All right, I'm done with the show. I'm done. I have to go to the bathroom now. I had a great guest on this morning.
Who was it?
This chick, Liz Wishart. She's a firefighter and a CrossFitter. She did all sorts of cool shit.
I think Ari would have been in here if he wasn't doing
Boxing?
Yeah.
You seem very melancholy, chill this morning. Are you in a bad mood? Are you in a good mood?
No, I'm just tired.
Did you go to bed late?
No, I went to bed.
Dude, I went to bed early. You know, I went to bed like at 9:15 last night.
That's early for you?
Normally I don't go to bed till like 11:30. I climbed into bed with you and then I fell asleep. And then Mom came in and I was gonna get up and watch Dexter, this TV show I'm watching. And
You didn't wake up?
no, your mom told me just to stay in bed. And I just listened to her. She's like, you should just sleep. I said, all right. So I did. I got up and peed one more time and then just slept.
I rarely have any dreams when I'm sleeping. Like really rare.
Did you have one last night?
I don't know, but
Do you know that if you wake up and start writing your dreams down, you'll start remembering them more?
yeah,
God,
I think Bob had told me that.
He did?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a little remote to keep it up and down?
This
Camera?
yeah, this mount that it's on is like, it's so loose. It's just slowly, the camera just slowly drops.
Yeah.
Hey, when you swim, does your back hurt?
Not really. I want to go to the beach again. Private when it's high tide.
Mhm.
It was so fun. We were like this way. There was like a wave coming, and we would go over it. I was the only one that would go over it, and Ari, Joey, Riley, and Rhett would just get tumbled. I'll be watching a movie from up above. It was crazy. I was like to Ari, I don't think you can handle this because I didn't want to. I want to have fun because I don't want to make sure. I was making sure he didn't drown.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I don't think you can handle this. So he said, yeah.
Do you feel that a lot being the big brother, that you're watching your brothers instead of like just doing your own thing, like making sure they're okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn, what the fuck is up with this camera?
Point it like up.
I can't. It just keeps falling forward. See, this thing just keeps falling forward. It's just loose. Like
I want to skate with Brock Johnson soon.
Oh, the guy who set the world record for the biking?
Yeah.
When your back's better?
Mm-hmm. Also want to skate with Rowan.
On your birthday?
Yeah.
I don't think it's falling forward now, is it? Oh yeah, it is falling forward. I can see on this big screen. Damn.
It is?
Yeah, it's very slow, but it's falling forward.
That's crazy.
All right, I can't get settled with it falling forward. All right. Anything else you want to say before we get off the air?
No.
All right. Thanks for coming in and checking on me. I'll see you guys tonight. We're doing a show, big show tonight. Big show. It's late. It's so late.
Oh, on that, I see that CEO thing right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We try to write the before Sevon with chalk on your birthday, but it didn't work.
Oh, on the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Didn't really work out. You still have the remote for that thing?
Yeah, somewhere. It didn't work. The remote came and it stopped working like within a couple hours.
It's cool because when you're out of here, I'm checking to see where you are, and it's so dark, and all I can see is the CEO.
I know. It looks cool from the window at
And
night,
it's
right?
like, wow.
Yeah. Baller. All right. See you guys this evening. Avi, thank you. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.